Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show.
You know what it is? Hey, ham solo. It's time, baby. Low. Let's turn how we do. Hey.
They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you man. I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a wheel. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blizzard. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make you bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we hit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said go.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for the 15th edition of the Log Gaming log. I'm laughing my ass off because Cozy was actually like dancing in the background.
I dance every time.
And
I
the
dance
intro was
every
going.
time. Every time.
No,
You guys can't see me. You just caught me at that moment, but usually I stop by the time the song's over. But I was really feeling myself. But normally I dance every time. Facts. You know, a banger comes
What?
on, I dance. That's the only time I recognize music is when I'm dancing.
Wow,
There you
she
go.
kept it hard. So anyways, greetings, salutations. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We're going to try to close the Sweet Baby arc of the gaming log this week. All right. We would like to talk about other things. So this week, I promise we're actually going to get through it. All right.
Yep.
Cozy Beluga, welcome to the gaming log. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic.
Are you ready?
It's so sunny and lovely outside. Look. This glow
Yeah.
is because I have my windows open.
The light is doing all the heavy lifting. Mental, you're good, brother.
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. Looking forward
Okay.
to wrapping up this topic and keeping it civil.
Yeah, going to something else. We shall see. Drawn TJ, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to get done with this
Tell
topic
people.
about this crazy woman and her CEO company.
Crazy woman.
And then we'll talk about maybe PS5 Pro or something else that's more important.
A fact.
You know what? Would you guys like to maybe talk about the PS5 Pro thing first? Because the Sweet Baby situation is it's deep.
I'm
It's
crazy.
pretty deep.
Okay, we can talk about either way. I'm only here until my friend's like, yeah, well, I'm coming to pick you up.
All right. But let's do the PS5 thing first, because I don't think we're gonna do well when we go to the Sweet Baby thing. Anyways, I'm just being honest. Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
let me find the thumb. Where is it? Here we go.
This is my new Sunday,
Hold
Flo. You
on,
are my
man.
new Sunday.
I'm your new Sunday. How so? Explain.
Be careful, Loke.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure this out. How am I your new
Because-
Sunday?
Because I can show up here on Sunday and feel productive.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure.
There you
Feel
go.
free.
I thought I was gonna take a dark turn or something.
You never know. Cozy.
No, I plan on
You never
murdering
know.
you in your sleep.
Whoa, where'd mental
Murdering.
go? Oh, there's mental. Okay.
Damn it! Hold on. I'm trying
You want
to.
to know how? Would you like to know
Yeah.
more?
Okay, there we go. There's everyone. Yes, Cozy. How
Would
do you
like
plan
to
on
know
murdering
more?
all of us?
All of
just be
us.
specific.
Yeah, you specifically.
Okay. How do you plan on
Um,
making that happen?
So here's the thing.
Let's put on stage.
I am a really big fan of arsenic.
Oh, arson.
Arsenic.
Okay.
So it started out as a joke because they were renovating the museum, one of the museums here. So they moved all their like exhibit stuff to other places, and so for a while, they have this like taxidermied polar bear, and it was at the library. It was like this giant taxidermied polar bear at the library, and they were like, they had a little warning plaque on it that said, "Hey, you know, this is covered in arsenic. Don't touch it." And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna lick the polar bear and die." And you know, that would be a great headline in the news. Like, you know, imagine you go out that way, licking a polar bear at the library and dying. And
ironically, polar bear is my favorite animal. But carry on.
But then my manager got tired of me joking about that, and he explained in great detail how arsenic poisoning works. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. It's not instant. It's like sort of like a slow bleed. It's not.
Oh.
But
so that's something you would do to someone you really didn't like and you wanted them to suffer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
But she thought about that's what she wants to do to me.
We now know Loke, her true feelings. Rule
of the day: don't piss off Cozy.
What?
Or you can piss her off just as long as you live on another continent. So,
oh, really? You don't think I will come there and find you?
No, Cozy. No. I am sure you would shit your pants. Like when your flight, because there's no direct flights from the US to Mozambique, you would shit your pants and run back to the States as soon as you landed in Johannesburg. As soon as you heard anyone speak anything other than English or Spanish.
Can I just no. Let me tell you something. I lived in the hood. I've lived in middle of nowhere. I don't think you understand.
In the States.
I actually like, so I think people don't understand because they like had this image of what, like, you know, the US lives like. I lived in abject poverty a lot of my childhood. And by that I mean no indoor plumbing.
What?
Yes.
There's places in the States with no indoor plumbing.
There are. And I think that's something people don't understand, because a lot of people will like, you don't understand, you American doesn't. Because I had this conversation with someone from Kenya, and I was like, yeah, I, live without indoor plumbing a lot of my childhood. So, like,
in that case, you might be more ghetto than me, Cozy. Because
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people did not understand. I was like not joking. Like,
so
no indoor plumbing. I lived in upstate New York, and our method of heating was wood burner. Like, it's like sort of like you have like this, it's a kind of like a portable fireplace, and you kind of like put it in a hole through you have a hole through your roof, and you just put wood in it, and it heats up the house the best possible. I grew up like, active, that the fireplace was the heater.
So like a wood stove.
Yeah, wood stove.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so you now had to rely on one of those before when the power went out.
You might survive 5 minutes in South Africa then. Whatever. You might survive 5 minutes.
So you think I know, like, not to just trust people, like, like, I grew up in that weird time where they were still like sending their kids, people were still sending their kids on public transit by themselves. Like, despite the fact that I look young, yes. I remember like actively being like, it would be like, here's your money for the bus.
Did you just call yourself young? Are you sick? Oh my God.
No, I said no, I look young.
So
then they say I have a giant ego.
No, I don't.
So
you guys told me this. I didn't think I look young. I think I look age appropriate, but you guys told me that.
I think you look like 25 or something.
But I'm not 25. I'm
not gonna say.
Oh God. What? Oh, okay, man. So you think I look 50?
No. I'm not saying that at all. Not going to say that. No, when you said, but I'm not 25, but then you didn't say how old you were. So I just filled in, but I'm not going to say.
What, in her mid-30s?
She's a lady.
I'm almost 36.
Okay, see, you're young.
You
Yeah.
capping.
Okay.
Cozy is capping. You're not 36.
I'm almost
Yeah.
36. I am a month shy of 36.
You're not.
So
You're not even 30.
you're young
Cozy.
compared to
Look,
me.
how old do you think she is? In her 40s or something? I mean, shit.
I
she's
think
in her
she's
30s.
25. I think she's
Oh,
capping.
bull.
No,
I
I
think
am
she's
literally
afraid.
a month shy of 36.
I think Cozy's afraid of people finding out that she's too young to be having these discussions with us. So she's stretching her age.
The thing is, I've been accused of this before, and I so it's like always like wild to me because I have literally been accused of people being like, I'm 100% certain you're lying of your age. Like I had this conversation with a coworker
like,
recently.
I need to see your ID and not even like a picture. Don't even send it to the TSWS group because I won't buy it.
Her, just
Photoshop's
so
a thing.
everybody knows who she is.
I want to see. I want to see
Lord.
the ID like in my hand, and
I'm
even
gonna
then I
dox
might think
myself.
it's capped because you can make it fake.
I'm gonna dox myself.
Like,
You want me to dox myself right now?
Don't do that.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Cozy.
Don't dox yourself.
What I would need, guys, Mental and Drawn TJ, because I ain't even talking to you, you fraudster. Drawn TJ, Mental, what I would need is like access to the FBI. I would need access to the database that says Cozy was born.
No. Here's the biggest proof. My Facebook.
What's wrong?
My Facebook is old enough. My Facebook has been around long enough that it was a Facebook you had to have at college when Facebook was still college students only. My Facebook is that old. When it was still college students only. I have a Facebook that was created when it was still college students only. So my Facebook.
You know what? I'm going
to
find out.
Facebook didn't exist when I was in college, accounts. So.
Wait, what? But Facebook was college only one time, and that's how. And I have a college only Facebook. Like
when I was that age, only true nerds had computers. So,
dude,
you're a dinosaur. You're a dinosaur. Everyone knows you're Fred Flintstoning.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I started when I started in school. Like I was 6 years old in kindergarten, and it was just it's okay. You can walk. It was 2 miles.
Did you have
just
the
walk
strap?
to school.
Did you have the strap thing that you carried your books in?
No. In kindergarten, you didn't have books. I mean, but yeah, kindergarten, grade 1 and 2, I was walking to school, and it was like miles away, and no big deal. Just go. Avoid all the vicious dogs along the way. Learn to run really fast.
So, I mean, you act like I'm that much older, but not. I grew up in that same thing where kids, and it's like weird because I remember the end of it. Because I remember seeing kids, and I was like, "Why are you guys by yourselves?" But I was like 12, and these kids I was seeing would be like 9. I remember watching 2 kids, and they looked like about 9, riding the bus by themselves, and I remember being like, "Why are you guys?" and helping them out, and being like, "Are you guys by yourselves?" And they're like, "No, we're together." Like these 2 9-year-olds. And I just remember being confused, like, why would anyone let 2 9-year-olds? But I'm 12 on the bus by myself.
So when I was, I guess I'd have been 9 when my brothers were off snowmobiling. That's a thing you do in Canada sometimes. So they were away, and my mom had gone to visit relatives, and my sisters were married and out of the house. So I was home with my dad. I'd gone to my friend's place. I come home, and there's just a note on the table. Said, Mike, had to go to Edmonton on business. There's food in the fridge. Should be back in a couple days. I was 9. Just left me on my own.
I mean, that was gone. That was the thing, because, you knew what not to do. But Rachie, I was not an MSN, I was an AOL kid. I actually do have my AIM still.
Cozy, stop capping. Stop capping. What? It's 2024. Any account can be taken from someone else. All right? Don't tell us about your Facebook account.
You were there in the days of like you selected the moon emoji. The moon emoji to me will still be
Cozy.
Chef's kiss. You don't even know what the moon emoji is.
You looked up retro tech stuff that happened back in the day.
You don't know what the moon emoji was. You would type like, you type the thingies. What do you call those thingies? The curve thingies that you parentheses. Exponent? Parentheses?
Like
but
this?
Yeah.
Like the quarter sort of moon look?
for
Just the
like,
two
you know,
round
for
ones.
equations. But
Yeah,
basically, you would
parentheses.
you would use parentheses, you would put moon and you parenthesis, moon, parenthesis, and then it was like this emoji where like this dude pulled down his pants and showed you his butt, and it was like the best thing ever. And till this day, there's no greater
Again,
emoji.
Okay,
people,
fine.
for
You're
anyone
old.
that's
You're
joining
old.
us, for anyone
You
that's
know
joining
what
us,
I'm talking about, mental. You know
that's
exactly what I'm
bullshit.
talking about.
Mental,
The moon.
mental,
the
mental,
moon.
mental. There's
Yes.
freaking YouTube channels dedicated to sharing all this retro stuff. Don't fall for it, dude. She's
No.
capping.
Mental knows exactly what I'm
Cozy's
talking
as
about.
fake.
AOL
Of
moon
course he
emoji.
does.
It was
He
the
was there,
greatest thing
Cozy.
ever.
I
Of
remember
course he does.
AOL.
He didn't need to watch a documentary to then memory hole it and then bring it up on a podcast.
So no,
right?
your thing is you've never looked at my email on Xbox. My email on Xbox is literally an AIM email.
And
I
My,
remember
you couldn't
dial-up
have
and
hacked
AOL
that.
and
You couldn't
No,
have
I had
hacked
that.
it and then started
that
using
is-
it
I
for
had that AIM
legitimacy.
email forever. Like
That's what I'm
I
saying.
actually-
It was someone else's AIM email, Cozy. You stole it.
No,
My Steam account. My Steam
No, she
account.
says.
I created it. I created my Steam account with a Netscape.net account.
I have 4 Steam accounts because
Oh my
back when I
God.
first got Steam, it was like if you had I had a Mac, and if you had a Mac, you couldn't play anything but games that were like compatible with Mac. So I had like
Yeah.
a Steam account just for Mac, and then when I moved over to Windows,
You got a real Steam account.
I created another Steam account because the games were still not compatible. Nowadays, it's like whatever, Proton, whatever, doesn't matter. But let me tell you, so I have like multiple Steam accounts.
I have 2. One's created with a Hotmail account. And the other one's with Netscape.net.
I was AIM, so I feel this exact same way about Hotmail. Oh, also that reminds me of a time like so like I used to do text-based Sims, you know, which is like basically text-based role play. I used to do text-based Star Trek Sims. And I remember one time I was in this text-based Star Trek sim that I used to do, and it was like Yahoo Groups. To date myself. Yahoo Groups. And I remember I was like, okay, so you guys, I won't be able to participate because they would have like every once in a while they have like a live one. Because usually it was just like you'd message as your character and then everyone else messages their character. And I was like, hey, I won't be able to do our live because I have finals. Like, oh, and like, okay, what's your major? And I was like, and then I was like, I'm in 8th grade.
Damn.
Like, and then like they were like, then one of the leader messaged me like, so we didn't realize you were in 8th grade. And we don't want you here.
Yikes. They kick you out?
Yeah, they kicked me out.
Damn. You
That's
shouldn't have said anything.
They didn't want, yeah, and it was like never it was never really super inappropriate. So I was just like texting with all these like adults, and they were like, and then when they found out, they were like, you have to leave. We don't want you here.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
Good times. Good
Okay.
times.
All right.
Topics.
I'm convinced
All right,
you're
let's
old.
start the show. I'm not convinced. Cozy is capping hard. All right, she had a tab waiting to pull those receipts. You know, she got like 6,000 tabs. She had one waiting for like old age legitimacy.
You know what?
It's kind of like the World of Warcraft players that they got like Apple Music playing background. They got Spotify open. They got like 15 tabs open.
Yeah.
And their computer's running like a DOS computer from 1968.
How many tabs
Hey!
do you have open right now? Let's
That
be
actually
honest.
is I don't want to talk about that.
Let's talk about that. I have exactly. Hold on. Let me check.
So
I have exactly
I actually only
30
have.
I have 35 tabs open right now.
I have 90.
I got
on Edge.
2 open.
I have 90 on Edge.
2. How do you live
Yep.
like this? Mental.
I
How many
only
tabs do you have
need 2.
open?
Twitter and the stream. That's it.
Mental.
I have about 55 on this browser, but I have 3 browsers that have tabs open. So
See, Mental's like
Christ.
me. Mental is like me. We need tabs.
I'm talking about tabs. You guys are talking about browsers.
So I only have 2 windows. I have 2 windows.
That's why I have 64 gigs of RAM. That's
Oh,
because
You know what?
my
I
browsers
actually
eat
had
it
to-
all.
I always have to debate whether I should get more RAM or just close tabs.
Oh my god.
Just close tabs.
I went with more RAM. It was too difficult to close the tabs.
I went with more RAM the first time, and now I'm at that same pass. Also, I'm gonna be honest. I keep Sims open at all points in time. Let me tell you how often I play Sims. Not that often, but I keep it open all the time. It's always open. In case, what if I want to play it? And Sim, like, I don't know, something if you don't realize old games, like when people talk about, well, PC is forever. No, old games, you have to do a lot of work to get them to be perfect and good.
Yeah, you need to go in your settings. Sometimes you need emulators for old games because sometimes they won't run on Windows 11. They just
literally, so I've literally been trying to figure out getting Dungeon. If you don't know what Dungeon Siege is, it's like the greatest CRPG ever. And I've literally been
Dungeons. You know what?
Oh,
a guy went Dungeon Siege. Dungeon Siege.
Cozy.
Guy went to high school with. It was his company that made it.
What?
Gas powered games.
Like a free copy.
Well, you just became Cozy's best friend now.
No. Tell him that he gave me the greatest. So let me tell you about Dungeon Siege. Dungeon Siege came at an important time in my life. I was like removed from my mom's custody and like sent to live in like Ohio. And
oh no, my son would be like, Ohio.
Exactly.
I don't know why he's got this thing about Ohio. I don't know what.
Because there's nothing going on in Ohio. But I was in Staples one day and they had like, Staples back when they used to have like those like $5 CD-ROMs. Dungeon Siege was one of them. So I was like, can I have this? I asked, hey, can I have this? And like my aunt was like, sure. She bought me that $5 CD-ROM. And it changed my life. I was like, this is the greatest game ever. I would literally, like, no one could tell me otherwise. I'd play Sims and the Dungeon Siege. Those are the only 2 games that matter to me. The Sims and
Dungeon Siege was game preservation. Go ahead, Mental.
I was just gonna say Dungeon Siege was the first game that I had played like that. That's kind of what introduced me to the idea of RPGs and where you're just click and what do they call them? Click and move or whatever, where you're clicking and your characters are point and click. That's what I was trying to think of. Jeez,
the massive thing about Dungeon Siege that made it so amazing was still this day. The closest game I can think of to scratching that Dungeon Siege itch is like the first Pillars of Eternity. That's like the closest game. There was Dungeon Siege was massive. You went off in a direction, and that was it. You just went off in that direction, and that was like the direction because traveling back was like it was a journey. So you didn't travel. You just like no. I remember one time I got my donkey killed. My donkey, which carried all the supplies, and I had no resurrection scrolls.
I remember that.
I had no resurrection scrolls, and I was in the middle of nowhere. Like an hour of real time away from any town, and I was like, "Well, crap."
Damn.
I had to literally select what I wanted to keep because I was like, "I'm not going back to town to get a resurrection scroll."
So, are you telling me if I try to launch Dungeon Siege right now, it won't work?
Probably not. It requires a lot of like workaround, and I say this to someone who
Mental,
carries my soul.
you're on
I
a
can't
podcast.
save from
Do
our
not
home
start
computer.
Dungeon Siege right now.
I'll put it on my other monitor.
No,
this guy.
I want to know if you can get it running. But,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I could sometimes get it. Sometimes works in my I have a virtual box, and sometimes it works in the virtual box, but sometimes it doesn't. I can't really explain it. But sometimes it works in the virtual box, sometimes it doesn't. But Dungeon Siege is one of the greatest pieces of like forgotten gaming history ever.
All right.
The person you should reach out to them so we can do an interview.
You might be able to find him. His name's Chris Taylor. He's been in interviews and junk. I haven't talked to him in decades.
Talk to because I would talk to anyone about Dungeon Siege.
Yeah, Gas Powered Games, Chris Taylor. If you Google him, you'll figure out who he is. And I don't know if he's even involved in the industry anymore. I haven't talked to him in decades and decades. It's been a long time.
All right. Enough
Anyway.
of the preamble. All right.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone.
Enough with these nuts in your mouth.
Thank you for the patience. This I plan on doing this every single week. Like I'm not. Sunday is for us to chill. All right. Tuesdays it's more serious. Friday it's very structured. But Sundays we're just chilling. All right. So
I'm enjoying it. I'm literally like, yay.
Yeah. So if we start the pod and then it takes us a fucking hour to get to the actual topic, you have been warned. Right? That's what we do on the gaming log on Sunday. We're not trying to be super structured. In fact, you know what? Let me at least undo this button because this is. Oh, that's better. All right. Cozy, keep it together. Yes. I'm trying to keep you in the frame.
I'm fucking. Anyways.
All right. Let's get into the first topic. And Nate, welcome. And Nate's making this face as if I'm gonna take off all my clothes. I was just undoing the tie.
Do it. Right? Do it. If you don't take off all your clothes, you're a tease.
You know what? I'm gonna do it like, oh no, it's Alex. I have to see the super chat. I have to see the super chat.
Show us your thighs.
Oh,
why?
Anyway,
wrong show, Cozy.
Why not something else?
Why? What, guys? Pause. All right, let's pause. Let's get through this article and then we can go back to the messiness. Anyway,
rein it
in. PS5 Pro League allegedly. So I want to preface this by saying it is a rumor. There's no facts out there. Anyone telling you that they have facts is capping, right? Unless it's Jim Ryan or someone that's at Sony, they're capping. But anyway, PS5 Pro League allegedly reveals PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution and up to 4 times the ray tracing performance of the regular all PS5. Sure. Let's go into the article. Oh, sorry, this is from PC Gamer. We're running away from like your Kotakus and The Verge. They picked a side, so I picked mine. The original PlayStation 5 is getting on a bit these days. First launched back in November 2020. The first console set tongues wagging, bloody. Oh, it's a lot of preamble. Okay, the latest information comes from YouTube channel Moore's Law is Dead, which is traditionally been a hit. What? Which has traditionally been a bit hit and miss when it comes to the accuracy of leaked information. Still, in a recent video,
he's the same guy that said PS5 was already an A3. Just so you know.
And
we found out later it's. Pardon?
It turned out not to be.
It's not. No, it's base PS5 is more like RDNA 1.5.
It's the same guy that's been spreading rumors before.
Yeah. He's hit and miss. We'll just say that.
Still, in a recent video, the channel reveals leaked documentation from within Sony that supposedly reveals the existence of PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, PSSR. Sounds a lot like USSR, but okay. Sony's own in-house upscaling solution for the PS5 Pro. The upscaler is described as a machine learning enhanced version of a temporal anti-aliasing upscaler, TAAQ, to replace a game's existing temporal anti-aliasing or upsampling with similar inputs to DLSS or FSR. No per gaming training is said to be required, with a further document showing a side-by-side comparison of PSSR, TAAU, and FSR2, with PSSR shown to look better than AMD's own upscaling solution. The documentation also gives some expected comparative performance figures to the regular PS5, including the assertion that rendering is about 45% faster and that ray tracing speed is 2 to 3 times faster than the older model, with up to 4 times improvement in some cases. Allegedly, the PS5 Pro's GPU has a 16-bit floating point calculation figure of 67 teraflops. Again with the teraflops bullshit. Anyway, which equates to an estimated 33.5 teraflops of FP32 compute performance. Given that the other leaks have suggested that the PS5 Pro may feature some elements of RDNA 4 in its GPU, that would be quite the ray tracing performance increase, as RDNA 3 only marginally improved ray tracing figures over the previous generation. If these leaked performance figures are correct, that suggests a potentially substantial step up in ray tracing capability from RDNA 4 GPUs in general, although only time would tell. So a lot of that, right? A lot of that was gibberish to me personally. I'm not like super technical when it comes to all this stuff. So, Mental, I need your help deciphering all of this.
You need
Please
him.
explain.
You need someone to explain to him like he's 5.
Yes. No, explain
So
it to me like I'm 2.
like you're 2. So a
Garbage.
teraflop is essentially the amount of compute the GPU can perform over a given time frame. So in theory, a teraflop is a teraflop is a teraflop. Now, we know when it comes to gaming that disparate architectures, teraflops aren't directly equatable to one another. Prime example, previous versions of Radeon GPUs had substantially higher teraflop ratings than NVIDIA GPUs of the same era, yet NVIDIA GPUs perform better in gaming, but in a compute-heavy task like crypto mining or something, a Radeon GPU would show its full strength, and actually those teraflops would become useful. In this case, you're dealing with an unknown architecture. It could be RDNA 4, we don't know. So we don't know how directly comparable those teraflops are to RDNA 2 in terms of gaming performance. The fact that they're talking about a 45% increase in rendering performance, I'm going to guess is partially because of CPU limitations, more so than just purely GPU. It's hard to say though, because we don't know a lot about it. But we do know, apparently, they are using Zen 2 again. So unless it's clocked a lot higher, the CPU is going to bottleneck the GPU at points. But what they will be able to do, the one area that compute will come in handy is in ray tracing. That's why in most of the ray tracing stuff where there's an uncapped frame limit and they can test Xbox versus PS5 in that type of scenario, you'll see the Xbox perform a little better than PS5, even though in a lot of rasterization stuff there's not that much difference. So I think its biggest limitation will probably be CPU again. It should do well in ray tracing, probably hold 60 FPS a lot easier in a lot of games, but if you're CPU bound, you're CPU bound. And you're just not going to get that full 33 teraflops if we want to, or 30, whatever it was, 33, versus the 12.5. You're not going to see a near 3 times improvement over the Xbox. That's just the reality of it. Part of that is too, depending how the GPU's been created. Like there was a dual pipeline introduced in RDNA 3, which greatly inflated the teraflop numbers. But in reality, it didn't do much in terms of performance. Like if you look at RDNA 2 versus RDNA 3 clock per clock, there's not much difference in performance. It's very limited. The main increase in performance with RDNA 3 came more through probably averaging a decent clock speed versus RDNA 2. It's not that much difference. There's very minimal upgrade actually done there. So will it perform better? Yes, it will. Of course it will. It's got 3 times the compute. You'd be able to run higher graphics settings, even if you're CPU bound at 4K. You'll be able to turn on more goodies and still have decent performance.
But is that realistic? That jump? Because I don't understand much about all of this stuff, but I'm just looking at the differences, like the number wise. You're going from 1.5
It's possible
to
it's possible
3 or 4, and then you're going from 10 teras to 30 teras. It's like,
well, like I say,
It's
it's a bit misleading because it's got a dual integer pipeline, and you can't keep that thing full. That's why, even though the 7000 series on PC, like 7000 series Radeon GPUs, have way higher teraflop ratings than their 6000 series counterpart, you don't see that much of a difference. You just don't. And it's because the way I'm not deeply in the know on how the actual architecture works. I just know that the dual pipeline integer performance, it's really tough to actually utilize it at the same time. It's the same thing that NVIDIA did with Ampere versus their previous generation, Pascal. They went to a dual integer pipeline, and it grossly inflated the teraflop numbers, but it didn't do the same thing in performance in actual gaming. Just because of the way games work,
exactly.
they don't use all of that. So,
and that's the key point here. Richie brings up a point here about the Xbox One jump from 1.3 to 6 teraflops from the 1 to the 1X. So I was one of the foolish people that got a 1X in anticipation of the Cyberpunk release, and I still got the same buggy mess.
Because Cyberpunk was just a buggy mess.
Again, in that era, you were grossly CPU limited.
Cyberpunk was buggy for you? Because for me, I only had one bug.
That's what I'm saying.
And the game ran flawless on an Xbox One X and then on a Series X.
What?
Yeah, so you're right, because Cyberpunk was a buggy mess. That's the problem. It was a buggy mess. It wasn't.
Yeah, if you owned the Xbox VCR, the big fat boy, or you ran a really cruddy PC, it
was terrible on those. It was practically unplayable on a base like
I know.
Xbox
they should have never released it on last gen. That's where they screwed up. Xbox One X and Xbox Series X, it ran just fine.
It ran fine.
I only had one bug.
So the bugs it had on the Xbox One X in the same PS Pro were because the game was kind of buggy. But yeah, it wasn't like a bad.
No, I completed the whole game. Like the first year it came out, I had no problem. I beat it. I only had one bug where someone walked through my car once, and then that was it. I never had another bug after that.
I couldn't play
but I also ditched the fat big Xbox brick that was a VCR, so.
My first
I can't vouch for that. Sorry, but
my first Xbox was the One X, so I can't.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. The One X was a really nice console,
and I got it because it was a cute looking Gears console. I didn't even care about
I love that design better than the Series X design.
The
to be
Gears
honest.
5 console is chefs. They put.
You still have it?
I've got that one. I still have mine.
I own all the Xboxes. Well, at least
someone offered to trade me.
Ones.
Someone offered to trade me the one I had, the Gears 5 one, for a Series, a Series S, and I was like,
No.
I can't do that.
You're like, no, I'd rather have a Series X or no.
No. The thing is, if it, I would just buy a Series S. I have no problem buying. In fact, I'm enamored with how small the Series S is because I'm all about tiny.
So you'd rather have it new than used.
No, it wasn't new and used. It was just that I am not willing to give up my Gears 5.
Oh, keep your limited edition.
Those limited editions are going to be worth a lot.
Oh, no. I have people asking why I have 13 3DSs and having to explain why I have 13 3DSs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I always keep my limited edition stuff.
Of Xbox, so.
Do they appreciate in value?
I mean, yeah. So I actually have the boot plates. I have the swappable boot plates for my 3DS, and you should see how much those are worth.
It's
ridiculous. Yep. It is ridiculous how much those are worth. Oh, okay, guys.
People that are really old tell you to sell that stuff. No. It's like, nope, it's totally worth it in the end because everything else fades out eventually. So they're worth a lot of money, just like an Atari.
Yep. Next weekend, I will be here the entire time.
All right. Yeah. Say something special. Do your outro.
And my outro is that we love games. We love games, right? You know, we're all here because we love games. People tend to get too tribal in their gaming experience. And my outro is about like exploring games and the medium as a lover of games. You spend your energy on something that you hate. Your game that you're not for you. Just let it go. Instead, be like, this is a game I never see anyone talk about and I love. And I want more people to talk about. Be that person. All gamers should strive to be that person that talks about that game that they love. And that is all I have.
There you go. That's the kind of wisdom that comes with age.
Nice sentiment.
See, now I know she's past 30, right? Now I know.
Yeah, there's some wisdom there.
There's some experience in that voice.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Vincent Vega, welcome in, brother.
You sounded so happy to say that.
A Metroid 3DS was sold in my area recently for 850 euros. What?
Yeah. There's some OG Xboxes that go for high prices too. Mine's not the best one to own, but it's I could get more for it than I paid for it today.
That's ridiculous.
I don't want to sell my consoles. People ask me, well, you own the best versions of every Xbox. I said, yeah, because I like collecting them. And they're like, well, aren't you going to sell them in the future? I'm like, no, screw you. I'm not selling them. They all work, too. Except for my Xbox original. It finally went out on me after 20 years. I'm surprised it lasted that long with mods and everything. And
is it the caps?
I took it apart and deep cleaned it too, all the way down to the motherboard, and it just won't hold the power. I load up a game and then it's like it loses power.
Depending what the serial number is on it, like if you look it up, it's probably I forget which ones, but there's something to do with, I think it's the power delivery capacitors that go on them.
Yeah,
and you can get them replaced.
How much is
Might be able to revive it. I don't know. But the actual caps wouldn't cost much.
Because I want to play Mech Assault on it, and I want to play Midnight Club on it, and I mean the good Midnight Club. But yeah.
Richie says 13 3DS is now we know why Nintendo wins console wars. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They win the real one.
Go.
They win the real one, not the social media one. Mishi, welcome in. Mishi Miyagi says, I'm still mad I didn't get the R2D2.
Oh, that was a beautiful console.
That was the golden one, correct?
No, yeah. it was that's C3PO one.
Oh,
he's talking about the one that looks like R2D2.
Yeah, I know the one. I've got the Halo Reach 360 Slim that is sitting on my shelf over there.
Yeah, my first limited edition console is actually the Halo Infinite one, which I like it. But I'm gonna fair warn you guys, if you do have it, anybody that's listening, your controller will go out in less than 2 years. It will go out.
Why?
For some reason, the power button on the big X on the controller, it doesn't light up anymore, but it still works. The controller works. You just can't tell it's on until you start moving stuff on your console.
But can you not fix that?
You can replace just be a little LED on the circuit board.
But it shouldn't be going out. I have an Xbox One original from the VCR that's still working. You know, so
I'm like
kind of skimmed on that one.
Of you guys. And it says he has 2 3D SXLs and 2 special edition new 3DS XLs. What are 3DS XLs? Do you guys know what those are?
They're extra large versions, I guess. I don't know.
So 3D XS. See, my daughter has a
SXL.
3DS. Yeah, the 3DSX extra large. Oh, my daughter has a 2DS XL, which plays all the 3DS games.
3DS XL. Jesus. How big is that thing? Oh, that's a fat boy. Yeah, you can find them for $250 right now.
250.
Yeah, that's a true handheld right there. It's 2 screens.
Well, that's not like super expensive. 250.
It's 2 screens. Yeah.
But 250 is not bad. That's when
they were getting weird. Yeah.
I'm like the complete opposite of you guys. Like when I'm done with the console,
you're done, eh? That's it.
I'm a minimalist.
Yeah, I just keep my limited edition ones. I tend to keep one console of every generation, and usually it's a limited edition. But like I've got my PS4 Star Wars Battlefront one, the one with Darth Vader on the side. I kept that. My Xbox, OG Xbox, the Emerald. I mentioned the Halo Reach one, and I've got a Gears 5 Xbox One X that I kept. I don't have a special edition. I do have the 360. It's the Halo Reach 360. Cool. Yeah, I've got that, and I've got my PS5, the Spider-Man limited edition.
That's good.
And
damn,
what else do
Vincent
I have
says he's keeping an unopened Starfield controller. That's the only thing I can tolerate about the game.
Well, Vincent Vega, I'm gonna crush your little dreams real quick, bro.
Oh, man.
You're gonna have to wait 25 years in the making for that to become an actual worthy collectible.
Yeah, for it to have value. I'm not seeing Starfield like trending in terms of value anytime soon. Like if you own a special edition Skyrim console, for example, I think you're
that
onto
would make
something.
sense. It's somewhat worth it because that's already over 15 years. So that makes sense.
No, not just that, but it matters how the game was received. You know, it matters how many people look at it and love it. Like the GTA 5 console, you can still probably resell in a couple of decades. But Starfield, I don't know, man. Maybe even after 25 years, you still might have people being like, those load screens, man, fuck that. Yeah, but for me, I'm just saying, think about it, guys. Load screens are right now, the consoles are trying to phase them out as much as possible. Do you guys think in the next 2 gens they won't actually remove all load screens from everything, not just from like your God of Wars, but like from most games? That'll be
mental. You guys know more about electronics than I do, so you obviously have a background somewhere about it. So what do you think about the next Xbox? Because Microsoft, they basically own Windows. So do you think that they're going to find a way to find a stripped down version of Windows without Office or that BS, and you don't have to update the drivers, but
that's will run already
Windows in a way like a pure Windows on the next gen console?
The Xbox is already running a version of Windows.
Oh, I know it's running a modified version of Windows. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I'm saying because they want to make it stream-like for the devs, right? Is that the whole reason?
What I had suggested, I don't know, a few weeks back, I think on one of the, I think it was the Friday show, was running actual full-blown Windows and having the ability to use any of the store's fronts that would go along with Windows. So like you could run your Steam games, everything, right? In order to do that, though, and have it make sense, you'd have to charge more for the console. Like they'd have to sell it at a profit. They wouldn't be able to sell it at a loss because you're not locked down to their own store, so they can't make up that loss later, right? So
make $800. If I could run Steam on it, with a controller, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, then it becomes worth it, right? And not only that, then your Xbox can play all the PlayStation games too.
Yeah, and you know
right?
what? Either way, Sony still wins in the end of the day. They still make money off of me regardless, or whoever wants to buy off Steam regardless. So, yeah.
You guys trying to argue away exclusives. I'm not for this line of conversation.
Well, it doesn't matter, dude. Look. I really want to agree with you, Loke, but the problem is, at the end of the day, these are billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies that don't give a shit about me, you, or Mental, or anybody else in this damn chat. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, money's money. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. We can argue all we want, but you've seen Sony ignore their damn fans. They don't give a shit. And you've seen Xbox sometimes ignore the fans too. So sometimes they give in, but sometimes they don't. So when it comes to it, they're going to do whatever it takes to make more money. If that means putting Gears over eventually, and they probably will, as soon as Sony puts games over on Xbox, yeah, you bet you, yeah, they're going to start doing it.
Sony's not going to put games on
Xbox.
Xbox.
That was my argument, right? If
Sony's not going to put games on Xbox.
Yeah, they will, because eventually they'll cap out, because not everybody likes PlayStation's exclusives. And you got to remember, PlayStation exclusives, they don't have any until 2025.
See,
their own party, their own
Here's the thing though, Drawn. So if Microsoft puts all their games on PlayStation, there's no reason to own an Xbox anymore other than Game Pass, and a lot of people just don't care about that. So they're just going to go buy a PlayStation.
And you know
for future generations.
And at the end of the day, they look. I don't want Gears. I don't want Halo to go over there. But I mean, there's certain ways you could get around it, like maybe the multiplayer, but not the story. But because look, Halo is basically dead. I mean, Halo is great, but in terms of notoriety, being like noticed, it's dead. I'm sorry, until they bring out Battle Royale or they reboot it and they actually get their heads out of their ass, it's dead. It's a dead franchise right now, because Bonnie Ross didn't know what she wanted to do for 6 years with development, switching her mind every time. So it screwed up the whole thing. They had no content launch, and that's what kind of killed it. Same with Forza Motorsport, just released. Great game, runs great, beautiful, sounds great.
For the love,
Forza Motorsport. Yep. Mm-hmm. And it is literally, it's dead. It's dead. There's no content. They released a track last month. That's the first track they've released all year so far, which is terrible. Honestly, they used to be really good at their content.
Quick correction, and Nate points out that I also got corrected when I made the same mistake a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not that there's no games coming up. There's no first party.
Well, I mean, they got MLB The Show, but that's in their competitors' subscription.
There's no first party for existing franchises. For existing franchises, which means we could get new franchises. So,
and I swear to God, if someone says Helldivers, they don't own that company. They published a game through them, but they don't own the studio. I'm talking about what they actually own. Spider-Man, they make that out of their own studio. MLB The Show, they make that out of their own studio, but they don't have anything coming. So what would entice me to buy a PlayStation? They did have one game, but they canceled it. Twisted Metal.
No, Stellar Cheeks, bro. No, Stellar Cheeks.
No, Stellar Cheeks like that. No, that you know what? You're weird. You're weird if you're looking at it like that, because the body and the torso is good, but then when you get to the face, it looks like a damn teenager. It makes you look like a pedophile when you're looking at that shit.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. We were just talking to Cozy. How do you think Cozy looked like? No. How do you think Cozy looked like when she was 25? Not everyone is done and wasted and run over and clearly has the 1,000-yard stare by the age of 20. All right? There's some women that can keep it together. There's some men that can do the same thing. This right here, this is discriminating by age. what's it called? Ageism. Why is it okay to look at someone and say that no, you look like a 15-year-old? Just because you are not used to seeing Asian women. Like, no offense, have you seen Asian women? Have you seen her? Have you seen Lucy when she's 40, but she kind of looks like she's 20? Not every woman is getting ran through.
That about women nowadays.
Tired on her face.
The food and the things that they drink. I mean, women that are like they look like they're 20, they're 15, 14. It's because of the hormones that are injected in the food and stuff, the GMOs and stuff, which is really bad for it's. You look at a person from the 80s and you look at a person that's recent, and it's really, it just blows your mind. They don't look like their age. It's really terrifying.
It's staying out of the sun. It's taking care of your skin. There's a million things that go into it, and a lot of it's just genetic.
It's a lifestyle thing, guys.
Yeah,
How much do you sleep? Are you sitting there on Instagram until 2300 hours every single day? There's some people that have
6 to 7 hours sleep, or 5.
Yeah, there's some people that have self-control. There's people that 9 p.m. religiously are in bed. And then
I can't do that. I'll be staring at the ceiling.
That's not the point. No, it's about practice, dude. Everything is about lifestyle. Lifestyle is about the routine, right? So if you start sleeping, if you start going to bed right now, every single day, start going to bed at 9 p.m., you will stay at the roof for the first maybe week or maybe even 3 weeks. But after a month, you will get in bed and you'll disappear quickly. You won't even remember staring at the roof. I'm serious. You'll forget that you even. What? It's already 6
funny how you said that.
Practice. It's about practice, and everything that we do in life, and I mean everything, has a price. Everything that we do in life has a price. If you're going out clubbing, there's a price. If you don't go out clubbing, there's a price. If you're hooking up with 50 chicks before you're 30, and I think this even applies to men as well, there's a price. And if you're hooking up with 50 dudes as a woman before you're 30, there's also a price. If you work hard, there's a price. You see it in where you live. You see it in what you drive. You see it in what you can afford to eat. You're paying the price for what you do or don't do. So don't come to me with this about she looks like a teenager. What you should say is that she looks healthy. She looks like she takes care of it. She looks like she respects herself.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying it's funny in Japanese culture. They make very young women look very, very prerogative, which there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, they have like a baby face. And I'm not trying to be mean, but they do. You play a lot of JRPGs and you look at the faces. Like you look at the body. Let's say you don't see the face yet, and they just show the body and they start panning up, and then you see the face and you're like, oh man, this looks like something I shouldn't be looking at. Because in America, we have different customs than they do. In Japan, you can marry a 13-year-old, but in the United States, you'd be considered a pedophile if you did that.
You can marry a 13-year-old in Japan?
Yep, apparently that's how that works over there.
No freaking way.
It's weird. It's really weird, man. So it's different cultures and different demographics.
Settle down. Hold on. The legal age for marriage in Japan is 18 for both men and women. Come on. But until
it's 18 for men and 16 for women.
Oh, well, either way,
22, they changed it to 18.
Either way, at the end of the day.
No, it was 16 until.
It was 16 until July 20. Yeah, April 2022.
Oh, so they changed it.
It's 18, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, but even then, it was 16, not 13.
That's a lot better.
And another thing.
Oh, man.
The Stellar Chicks chick, right? The Stellar Cheeks.
Yeah.
You look at the face model. Look at the chick.
Yeah, she looks super young.
Yeah, and she's in her mid-30s. like people like Cozy in the States are an exception. On average, American men and women, by the time you guys are 25, it's over. Like
25.
You will
Damn.
never look better.
Well, I've been dead a long time then.
Before. No, I'm talking about the average. I'm just saying. I'm talking about the average.
Mental. I've been dead a long time.
It's upsetting to hear, but it's also true. And what happens is you guys take your metric, right, for what's right or what looks right and what looks okay, and then you want to apply it to the rest of the world. But the rest of the world doesn't live like that, right? So we kind of have the same results as you guys. We look at the Stella Cheeks model, and I think she's a great example of the big difference culturally, because she looks like the model in the game. She looks like that. She does look super young. They asked the chicks in New York, like, oh, what does this?
So when they first showed her, she looked really, really young. And then if you look at like later on, like as development went through the game, she actually looks like a like a woman that's in her 30s now. Because I'm looking at like a photo. I went to photos and I'm looking at 2019 version. I'm looking at 2024 version, and it's 9-day difference. Because now she doesn't look like a kid, you know. She actually looks like the actual model now.
All right. Now the males in Japan look like small boys. What?
I know.
You're gonna get us canceled. You are going to get us canceled.
You didn't have to read it.
Canceled, Loke.
What? Let's go. Let's bring some levity to the topics, because this is getting a bit heavy.
Loke, anyway, since you like PlayStation, what would you like to see in the PlayStation 5 Pro? Like realistically, that you would want to afford.
I'm good, dude.
What would you like to see as a gen, but as a Pro? What would you like to see?
I'm waiting for the PS6. I'm waiting for the PS6.
There's not going to be a PS6.
I've been had already. You're not gonna fool me again.
Yeah, they said 8K on the box, and it won't even do 8K video.
Yeah,
and Xbox did the same shit too. I was pissed off at that too. They said 8K and it does 1 gigabyte of bandwidth speed when you download.
And when I say I'm not gonna do it, when I say I'm not gonna do the mid-gen thing, I mean it for both consoles. I'm not saying it for PlayStation.
Don't do it, dude. Just
I am good.
Don't waste your money.
I am.
The only way they'll suck me in is with a really nice limited edition console. That's the only way
that's the only way.
Sucked in.
Otherwise, there's no point, right? Mental. I mean, otherwise, what? You're gonna get 30 more frames? Here's my question to you two, real quick. It doesn't make any sense to get this refresh. It does not make any damn sense, because they say, okay, well, we got games at 4K 30, but that's still no excuse. Like a COD 4K 120, Halo 4K 120, running on a 4K 120 TV. Remember, those games are cross-gen, and they run on the older consoles. Yes, they don't run at 4K 120, but they still run at 120 frames per second, and they're demanding games. So my question is, are the devs not using the tools, or are they're spread too thin, or do you think that they need 2,000 employees like Call of Duty has that actually gets the job done?
I had a conversation with my brother about this, and he asked me, like, dude, what's the point of these consoles?
I know.
He also has a PS5.
We got
games
at 4K 120.
And he was like, dude, I haven't played one game on either of these consoles that work and is impossible on the previous consoles, and there's a big difference. Everything that is limited to the Series X or the PS5, you can either play it on the PS4, or it looks marginally different to the best games on PS4 or the Xbox One. So really, what's the point? And so to answer your question about the refresh, I am so good, right, that even when the PS6 comes out, I need to see something. I need to see something because you showed me
a game playing on it, a game, not just the freaking specs, and they show you the console.
I need to see a monster. I need to see a game come out, and I need to see everyone lose their minds.
And it needs to be in the last stages, right?
How amazing this thing is to justify me going out to get it. Because I have people that are playing on PS4, and they're essentially in the same generation as me with the PS5.
These consoles are just faster and they got better memory. That's all they have, and they have some life improvements. But in terms of graphical, leap, no. In terms of frame rate, yeah, okay, I could say frame rate maybe, but that's also comes down to the studio. Like I said, Call of Duty has 2,000 developers. That's why it's 4K 120 frames. I mean, do we need 2,000 in every freaking studio apparently?
No.
To get that?
So the reason you're having this dilemma of, why we're seeing so many games still at 30 FPS or not holding a steady frame rate, et cetera, it's not the GPUs in the machines. It's the CPU.
It's the RAM.
And it comes down to the problem being most of the game engines that we've seen games come out with, or like games being released up to this point, have been old ones. They're game engines that at their core were based on DirectX 11. DirectX 11 doesn't know how to utilize 16 CPU threads. It's going to utilize 2 primaries, 2 secondaries, and maybe you'll see a little bit of activity on 2 more. But very little. You're going to see 2 that are your main threads, though. The CPUs in the consoles aren't clocked high enough to push 60 FPS with just 2 threads in use. So that's where you're seeing the bulk of your issue. And the reason I can say that with confidence is, as a PC guy, if I took a game like A Plague Tale Requiem at launch, it was locked to 30 FPS on consoles. At that time when it came out, I had a 3090 Ti. With my PC, I could clearly see only 2 primary threads in use. With my 3090 Ti, I could not get over 88 frames per second at 1440p, no matter what I set the settings to. I could turn everything to low as I wanted to go, enable FSR, etc. All that would happen is my GPU usage would come down to 50%, and I'm stuck at that same frame rate. Classic CPU bottleneck. Well, after they released the performance patch on console, loading that same game up, now I'm over 130 FPS, no problem, full settings, everything, right? Suddenly, it's using 16 threads. That's where your performance came from. So it really takes an engine rework in order to get the frame rate at the clock speed that these CPUs are at.
So right? Do you think they need more time then? Or do you think these developers need more hands like Call of Duty has, where they get 4K
I think they need newer game engines, or they need to do a lot of work on their existing ones, right? So that they can actually use 16 threads effectively. That will help with the 60 FPS problem.
What do you think about Unreal Engine 5 then? Because it looks beautiful, but it's having frame rate problems.
Here's the thing.
Can tell you that. Everybody can do that.
If they're willing to lower the graphics settings, you should be able to get a performance mode that works. But how low do you have to go, right? Because it should be able to utilize the CPU effectively. But there's other things involved too, right? It depends on how much they're doing with physics and stuff, and how much they're willing to eliminate in that front too. And because all that's a load on a CPU, generally speaking, right? It's going to utilize threads there and cycles there. So if they're willing to cut back on that stuff and lower the resolution to 1080p, there should be, like one of the things I always say at work, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to do it, it can be done. You have to be willing to sacrifice and do what needs to be done, though, to get there. Going through a project at work right now with some of my team, and just pushing them in that direction. Get it done. We have the will. There's going to be a way. It's what you got to do.
So we're blaming the devs?
Well, no, I think. No. Yeah, I don't know about the devs so much. The game engines are a problem.
And the devs. It's a combination of both, and time. It's all three.
It's time and money is what it comes down to, right? The devs may very well want to do it. But the leaders of the studio might say there's no payoff in it. right? You got to weigh out the cost and the return. If people are going to keep saying, "Oh, I'm fine with 30 FPS," where's the incentive to actually go out and make it 60? If everybody put their foot down and said, "I'm not buying any game at 30 FPS," watch and see what happens. Every game would be 60 FPS. But as soon as people are like, I don't care. I mean, I think 30 is great. I don't. That's why I play on PC.
No, it runs smoother. It does. Even on an Xbox, it makes a big difference, especially 120.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think these next-gen consoles, and I'm not talking about the pros. I could care less. Those are pieces of garbage, in my opinion. The next-gen consoles will actually be worth the money. What they need is more RAM. They need a better CPU, and they need more storage. For dear God, freaking Call of Duty. Let's put 200 gigs in your freaking console. Let's just destroy your whole storage. They're doing that on purpose. You know that, right? They're doing that so you don't leave COD
at some point.
Yeah.
With COD, I have to wonder if they're just not compressing their textures or something. And they're going, but that might aid with the performance too, right? Because there's no texture decompression to have to worry about. I don't know. I don't know enough about that. But
I hope.
Yeah, it is ridiculous how much space those games take up. Anyway,
it's almost 300 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's bring some levity into the chat. 6 8th graders face criminal charges over hateful and racist online chat. I'm not even going to get into the article. I just want to get reactions from everyone before we get into it. Thoughts?
Criminal charges for 8th graders?
Actual criminal charges for online chat.
I think they should just be expelled, but I mean, because it is words at the end of the day. Sure, is it hurtful? Yes.
See,
is it wrong? Yes, but at the end of the day, criminal charges. Come on, they're 8th graders. They're what, 10 years old? I mean, come on.
No,
that's pretty bad.
So I'm just reading what they did. I mean, it's horrible.
Community service for 48 hours or something. But yeah,
criminal charges seems extreme. See, like when I was growing up, we had the old song that was "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me."
Our words won't hurt me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our words will never hurt me. Yeah, sure, different versions of it, but I'm 13.
Well, we're stronger. That's the problem. We were able to take racist comments and they didn't affect us. People are born in the 80s and 90s and 70s.
You can call me. You can call me the sweet baby today. I'm the sweet baby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I call you Master. I call you Master Little Pony Texas Loke.
Like I'm looking at what they did here, and I think it's insane.
Yeah, I think you know what? Yes, I agree with you. Sticks and stones, blah blah blah. But
yeah,
I think there's a line, dude. Did you? Are you reading?
Yeah, no. This is. Yeah, I just read that.
Can you read this specifically? Drawn TJ, can you read that, please?
Yeah, let me get closer. Let me get closer to it.
Yeah. Get your magnifying glass out.
That's tiny on my screen. Hold on.
Like I'm not even.
That's pretty extreme.
I'm even afraid to read it.
Oh wow! Okay. Talking about slaves. Okay, talking about slaves. Okay. Well, this isn't the 18th century where they used to sell slaves. This is the 24th. This is the 21st, 22nd century. We're not back in the old days. So the way I would do it is I would find a way to ban all their social media accounts, and I would find a way to give them community service probably for like a month. And
yeah, there's definitely a price to pay here.
That's what I would do.
There's definitely a price to pay. I'm just weighing it out in my head on like clearly and that type of stuff
publicly, like an actual like a real podium. Because the thing is,
I'm the guy.
It is racist and it's wrong. Like I would never say something like that to Loke because I get canceled. I get destroyed, even though I don't have a platform. But still, at the end of the day, it's fucking wrong. You don't say shit like that to people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people.
Is this, were they doing this with people they know? Like, I'm assuming
the group chats unfolded.
Like
several students
like
expressed hateful.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's other kids in the school or something. I'm guessing then.
Mark.
It's a group
directed
you know what?
Two juveniles known to them. Yeah. This is like
okay.
Two people that they know.
No, I'd like to know what's going on in those kids' home, right? Like this type of behavior at that age.
It's usually by the parents.
Like they're getting. I'm gonna say they're heavily influenced by their parents, and
or
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't see that type of behavior from the kids that my kids go to school with. There's been a few issues, but like generally speaking, that's learned behavior.
Yeah, you don't just wake up with this.
No, kids don't have those thoughts in their head. It comes from the adults they're around, and like you don't make that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe they're learning stuff in school that gave them those ideas. I don't know, but I doubt it. Could be other people that are influencing them, but
Rachie
typically
says kids
it's
become
parents.
rotten the second they enter school. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. So I want to bring this in before we start the whole Sweet Baby discussion, the part 2 discussion, because I think
it's definitely wrong.
We've lost. I think we've lost the ability to have nuanced conversations. You know, you are either extreme left, you're extreme right, you're extreme against Sweet Baby, you're extreme for Sweet Baby, and the truth is somewhere.
Or you're extreme against Sony.
Almost
like
always.
I am.
Exactly. The truth is almost always somewhere in the middle. So I just want to bring this in because one thing that we almost all agree on, especially the three of us here, and a lot of people in the chat, is it's not like not everything is hate speech. You know, someone disagreeing with you is not hate speech. It's not sexism. It's not racism. They're just telling you that you're wrong, or they're telling you that they disagree with you, and they have that right. Right?
Look,
and then
there's a difference between speech that you hate and speech that's hate speech. There's a big difference. People cross and blur those lines.
Yeah,
and I cannot like something that you say, but does that make you like saying hate speech? No, that's just something I don't agree with.
This is just a classic example. This is a classic example of this is what you call hate speech. This is something that now you need to take it
absolutely.
Out. You need to take this out of the virtual world, and whoever partook in it needs to face consequences in the real world.
There has to be repercussions.
Well, they need therapy. They probably need they need to be taken away from their parents, or the parents need therapy because their parents are probably the ones causing this problem.
Therapy is not the answer. Therapy is not always the answer, dude.
Well, it would have hurt because I mean, once you're stuck in that way, you're stuck in that way. I mean, it's very hard to change for some people. Some people are very stubborn.
Yeah. So let's take a deep breath and let's dive deep into the abyss, into this whole Sweet
Here
Baby.
Here we go. I get to laugh more.
Kerfuffle. Oh, look who's here just on time. Brother Pixel Bit.
Hey, what's up, Pixel Bit?
What's going on, gentlemen? I was able to hear the kerfuffle.
Yeah, you just stepped into it now, man.
I came right on time with hearing that good stuff. So yeah.
Right on
time. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Did not know this was the Sweet Baby Jesus commentary day, but okay, let's go.
I'm glad that you're in here, bro, because I do follow you on Twitter, so it's gonna be real good to hear your version of what you think.
Well, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So as you can see from the title, this is part 2 because part 1 We tried. We didn't even know it was a part 1 last week. Mental.
No, we did not.
He decided to share a video
with
us.
Walked into it by mistake.
No. You didn't walk into it. What I'm saying is the reason this is part 2 is because last week I had everything organized, and I was like, okay, we're going to do the Sweet Baby thing, and then we're going to move on. And then Mento's like,
over 3 hours.
Yeah, Mento's like, check out this little video, and it was like 3 hours for us to just discuss that specific video.
Wow.
The video itself was 20 minutes. It took Loke 3 hours to get through it.
Wait, are you blaming me now? You're blaming me
through it? Wow.
Well, you were pausing every 30 seconds or so, and
absorb it and kind of
listen.
There was a couple times I had to say, "Okay, buddy, let him finish his thought before we pause."
Like, I'm really triggered just thinking about that video right now. I'm triggered. Anyone that goes back to watch last week's episode, you will see it wasn't like filler. I was legit trying to get through it, but there was so much rubbish from both sides, really. Because even the Endymion guy was checking out some cack, and I had to call him on it as well. But okay. Let's get through this article, and I'm not sure we're going to get through all of this today, but we're going to give it a go, because after this article,
part 3,
after this article, there's a video of Elon Musk's response or take on the whole Sweet Baby thing. Then there's another video as well on what's his name, Matt Walsh, a political commentary guy. That suddenly
we
he's
know
been
Matt.
shitting on gamers forever. Now he's on our side. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get through all of it. But we're going to give it our best shot. Pixel, what you been playing? Before we get into it, what you been playing?
Oh, I mean, just a lot of Balatro right now. So that's like a
Balatro?
2D card game. It's kind of like think of it like poker on crack or something. It's like this crazy meta 2D card game that kind of uses the rules of poker and expands it out with like all of these jokers and modifiers and stuff, and like boss battles at the end. Like there's still go card game, but every 4th stage is like a boss battle with some ridiculous number you need to hit, and these additional rules on top of it. It's just a really interesting game. So it's currently on Steam and I think it's on Switch and Xbox as well. But I'm playing it mostly on the Legion Go via Steam. So that has been the game I've been focusing on the most this week, because I haven't had a lot of time to game. But that right there, and then I had a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but kind of fell asleep on it a little bit. So
Balatro, that's what you're calling it.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
Balatro. Yeah, Balatro. I'm playing it right now.
Balatro.
Yeah, on Steam. Look for it's Balatro.
Okay. Balatro. I mean, you guys is like pronunciations are all over the place.
I'm from New York, man. That's a New York accent.
No, it's a US accent thing. When I say you guys, I'm not even talking about New York or the West.
It's ball, man. BAL, man. Ball. Balatro, man.
No, it's Balatro. That's what it is.
It's Balatro, nigga. I mean,
it's ball.
No, don't argue with a New Yorker.
Oh my God.
It is what I said it was. I gave you the spelling because you didn't understand. There you go. Problem solved. Now you know.
The poker roguelike Balatro is a hypnotically satisfying deck builder where you play illegal poker hands, discover game-changing jokers, and trigger adrenaline-pumping, outrageous combos. All right. Well, what are the reviews like? Let's see.
You don't need reviews. I'm telling you, this game is fire.
God
what
damn.
You need to know, my dude?
Overwhelmingly positive with 18,000 plus reviews. All right.
Yeah.
All right, it's decent.
I'm sorry, but reviews don't mean shit nowadays.
I'm telling you from a gamer who's been playing games for a very long time. This game is fire. It's kind of the I don't know if anybody played Vampire Survivors 2 years ago.
Who hasn't played
one
Vampire
of those.
Survivors?
I still haven't played that game.
Yeah.
Of course you haven't played it.
No,
bro,
you're a real
you're
gamer,
missing,
bro.
you're missing
Of course you
some
haven't
good
played.
smoke with that, man. It's just like, you know, sometimes games just really have a solid hook, and it may not be like much to look at, but once you start playing it, you realize like, yo, there's some complexity to this. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those games. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games. So
easy to
I think
enjoy,
I got like
but very deep.
20 hours in it right now, I think. Let me see. Let me see.
You know,
Yeah, 22
just hit
hours.
me.
I got 22 hours in it.
That's a lot of gameplay. It just hit me that I haven't asked everyone else what they've been playing. Draw TJ, what you been playing?
I've been playing Power World, Call of Duty, and I've also been playing Halo. So that's what I've been playing.
I heard that Helldivers was so successful they had to shut down all the servers for Power World.
Okay, whatever you say, bro. Helldivers is actually declining right now, actually.
I swear, people pretending like two great games can't coexist is just like
it's just
insane.
Goofy. It's just
Helldivers. You want to know what that looks like to me when I look at the gameplay? It looks like the gameplay loop of Left 4 Dead, but it's third person instead of first. And instead of zombies and a modern world, it's a sci-fi planet and you're killing bugs and aliens.
Okay, Mental.
Sorry.
What you been playing? Don't apologize, dude. There's nothing wrong with Helldivers. It's a fantastic game. I'm not a multiplayer
I'll just wait for it to come to Xbox because I'm not buying it on my PC.
You're never going to dissuade me from thinking that it's a great game. And I'm not even a multiplayer guy.
Before Mental goes in, the Helldivers might look like a PS3 game, but I assure you the loop of that game is delicious. It's just a good game. So,
and why are we here? Are we here to look at nice things? Because if we're here
I'm a
to
gamer.
look at nice
I'm not
things,
a watcher. So
thank you.
It's a great game.
Here to only look at nice things, bro, go find.
You just gotta look at your head, Lope. Right? That's a nice thing.
It's shining. It's shining. Mental. Oh, you're trying to outshine me with your head, but what you been playing?
What's behind me? A little bit. I'm still working on Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, and also a little bit of that behind me too.
Ew. Put Cyberpunk back up there. Put Cyberpunk back up there.
Okay.
I'll take you off stage, motherfucker. I'm waiting. Where's Cyberpunk? There we go.
There it is.
You're pissing off Love, damn it. Don't piss him off.
Yo, this man is trying to trigger me.
I knew that would get a rise out of you.
Just tell him that soccer management is not good.
Well played, bro. Well played.
All right. Settle down. I've been playing two specific. One, I got a review code for, and I'm writing a review for the Game Critics, which is Taxi Life. Taxi Life. It's a simulator game where you drive around as a taxi. Pretty cool for simulation heads like me. And I recently got back into XCOM 2.
Ooh,
that game is hard, guys. That game is. Have you finished it, Pixel?
Are you joking? You said XCOM 2?
XCOM's really fun.
Yeah,
I played the first one. I didn't play the second one, but I played it.
Let's see the sheer number of hours that I've put into XCOM 2.
No, I'm not even talking about hours. I'm not even talking about.
Bro. I don't play the game and not beat it, man. 923 hours, man. I've beaten it many times. 49 out of 89 achievements. I love. Listen, I was an OG XCOM player from back in the days, bro. XCOM 2 is literally the greatest game in 2020. Straight up, no questions asked.
What's your most played game, Pixel Bid G? If you don't mind me asking.
2016,
like hour-wise.
2020, right?
And that's 2020. Yeah, I my last play was in 2020 for that one. But I also played the War of the Chosen as well and all that stuff too. So
because I got over 3,500 hours in Phantasy Star Universe on Xbox 360.
Beast. I don't know what my top one is, but it might be Sins of the Solar Empire. Let me see what I got on that. Sins of the Solar Empire. Yeah, like 1,188 hours on that.
Now that's some damn good gameplay right there. If you're getting that many hours, then you know the game's a list, tier list quality.
Dude, I was in the beta for Sins, and then played it like it felt like a decade. So it was that game, and it was like Rome, the Rome 2 Total War.
You play strategy games too?
Yeah, I'm big into strategy. So
did you ever play Dune 2000 and Command and Conquer?
Command and Conquer, yes, but not Doom.
Oh, play Dune 2000.
Have to add it to my list.
Oh yeah.
So Innate says it's about a time for XCOM 3, and I agree 100%.
Yes,
but
overdue.
Pixel, me and you need to chat offline.
Dude, like
I don't know what I'm missing.
Who owns XCOM? If you don't mind me asking, real quick.
I've got over 30 hours. I've got over 30 hours in XCOM on Xbox. I've got over 30 hours on XCOM on Steam. And I still haven't beaten. I don't know what I'm missing, but I keep getting my ass kicked.
There is well, there is some logic to how you're supposed to build your team, like the good builds for teams, and the key component is, provided you're not playing War of the Chosen, because that's the meta in that game is different, but the key component is partly to just not lose your guys early, right? Get a good sniper, things of that nature, right? You need crowd control, and you need somebody who can hit a lot of people from a distance and keep hitting, right? Before reload. So, but yeah, we could talk like that. That's my game, man. I love me some XCOM. Love it.
Me and you need to play some.
I need help because I got help with Dark Souls recently, and it helped me power through the final few bosses. So
no shame in that, bro.
I'm struggling.
I can play Dark Souls. But yeah, you're drawing me. Yeah, we could rock. You'll probably watch me. It's been years since I played CNC. But
I still play it religiously, and I love it. Yeah. EA pisses me off since they shut down the original dedicated servers. EA can suck it. I stopped buying their games because I'm tired of them ruining my favorite franchise. So they're ruining Need for Speed, and they already ruined Command & Conquer. They ruined Titanfall. Titanfall's gone. So they're running franchise.
EA does, man. That's their claim to fame, bro.
Yep, I know.
Pixel, I want to put some pressure on you. Rachie says, "Let's call today the XCOM podcast." We don't have time to make this the XCOM podcast, but can I put it on you to completely break down XCOM 2 next Sunday?
Next Sunday. Oh gosh, that's fast. I got a hard week. I will focus on it. I need to let me install it and get back in the loop on it a little bit. And
all right, let's do this. Let's do this.
That'd be cool.
Let's do this because this is secondary. You have to focus on whatever's primary. I'll put that on your plate, and within the next 4 Sundays, you need to give us the full breakdown. Within the next 4 Sundays. Deal?
I got you. Yeah, deal.
Yeah. So we're going to have an XCOM 2 podcast, and I'm going to finally beat XCOM 2. Anyway, let's.
You're playing vanilla, right? Just to check. You playing vanilla?
Yeah.
No War of the Chosen, right? You're not in that
Dude,
world yet.
I haven't even gotten to the deal. I have the Ultimate Edition. I have all the DLC, but I haven't even beaten the base game. How can I jump to anything else?
Got you.
All right. Let's get into the whole Sweet Baby situation. So this is coming from Bounding Into Comics. I will not be bringing anyone up to speed. Everyone here already knows what's going on ad nauseum. This is an update that we weren't able to cover. As you can see here, March 9th. We were supposed to do this last week, but obviously the video took over the show. So we're doing it this week. Hopefully we can get through this week. So here we go. To the surprise of no one, the mainstream press, as well as members of the overall Western video game industry, have responded to the recent and well-deserved scrutiny leveled at the work of inclusion-focused narrative consulting company Sweet Baby Inc. by doing their best to run defense for their ideological allies. The circling the wagons around. Okay, someone should have done some editing here. The circling of the wagons around Sweet Baby Inc. first kicked off on March 6th when Kotaku published a piece by site senior editor Alyssa Mercante headlined Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. For anyone that's not sure who Alyssa is, she is the person that went viral for repeating one of the dumbest phrases in the world, which is, "You can't be racist," to white people. Mercante not only attempted to play shocked victim after she was kicked from the Discord server for the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list whilst trying to dig up dirt on the company's detractors. After all, what did she expect when she used her real name and photo on the profile she used to infiltrate the server, but attempted to portray the consultation company's DEI work, despite it being highlighted at nearly every single turn on their official website as nothing more than a minuscule, insignificant part of their operation. Here's a quote: "Sweet Baby Inc. ensure a game's plot points make logical sense and are satisfying to players, and that characters speak and behave in consistent ways," wrote the Kotaku editor. That means they ensure a game's plot points make logical sense and are satisfying to players, and that characters speak and behave in consistent ways. Narrative designers may also provide a final round of polish like a Hollywood script doctor. Following Kotaku stepping... sorry, if anyone wants to cut in while I'm reading, just start speaking and I'll stop. Following Kotaku's stepping into the ring, and while Mercante turned her attention to denying the existence of anti-white racism and condescendingly writing off YouTuber Lorena Creole as a pick-me girl. Okay, so you know what? I'm ready to take the blame. I'm ready to take the blame. I'm the one that made last week's episode long, and I'm about to make it longer because I opened the tab with the specific tweet, and I think it warrants our discussion. All right. So where is it? Here we go. So as you guys can see here, this thing starts with Alyssa Mercante saying, "Happy International Women's Day. I have almost a dozen emails like this and dozens more threats here and elsewhere. You keep being normal gamers." So again, right? Again, you're taking all of us, right? And you're saying that we are this. All right? Okay, this is definitely going to foster positive discourse, taking an entire group and lumping them with their worst 5%. Good idea. Lorena Creole, a woman of color from this picture, says, "Where's the timestamps and the sender info?" Alyssa Mercante replies, "Oh girl, they're not gonna love you," calling Alyssa a pick-me. Because the idea here, I'm guessing, is that she was being ironic, saying that people are asking her for proof. So Lorena replies, "Who is they? What do you mean by that, white savior lady?" God damn.
Okay.
That was delicious for me.
Shots fired. Yeah, like that.
I savored that shit. Like I needed like for wine, I needed a cigarette, some tissue.
Oh,
Jesus. Pause, bro.
It's an overshare there, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just
a little
saying.
bit of TMI, my friend. A little bit.
I'm just saying, because everyone, these people.
Well, we know how Loke likes to get wined and dined now.
Jeez.
I'm just saying.
Looks more like a beer guy to me, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, these people look like this, but they're and they act like
they
they
are the
want to help.
purveyors of what should and shouldn't happen. Yeah, I hear them.
Exactly, but they're the traffickers of the things that they claim gamers of traffic. They're
fake as hell.
They're the vanguard of racism. They're the vanguard of sexism. But it's us. So this response here by Lorena, I don't even know why I didn't like this, because this was sumptuous. This was delicious. Just I need to get me some tissue. Anyway, let's go back to the article. Let's go back to the article. Hold on. Again, if anyone feels like interjecting at any point, I'm not trying to hog the mic. So okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you're up above. They kind of go into what they do, right, and how they're just there to ensure story continuity and stuff like that, and provide advice and so on and so on. But yet, if you look in the credits for Warner Brothers' latest treasure, they are the sole writing team. They're the only ones listed as writers for it, as discovered by it's Alex.
I'm sorry, what treasure was this?
Oh, Suicide Squad.
They're the sole writers.
They're the only ones listed as writers. Apparently, yeah. Apparently. That's what it looks like. I was watching the bits of Alex's stream the other night. It's Alex. And that was one of the things that they went over in his live stream.
So when it comes up like writers in the credits, all the writers, all of them are from Sweet Baby.
Yeah, there was 13, I think, that were involved from Sweet Baby Inc.
And
no, I didn't get a pleasure of playing that game. So what was the writing issues with that game? I know there was something about Harley Quinn's
haven't played it.
Age, and I know that was a touchy point for some folks.
Well, I know there was a lot of discourse around the way Batman went out and stuff. Like, apparently, I haven't played it. Some people loved it, some people not so much, right? We all know that, but the game itself doesn't appear to be doing very well. So
it's dead, dude. It can't even break 500.
Yeah, the whole point is that they pretend they don't do that, but they did that, right? Like, I've seen stuff where they say that's not what we do. We don't come in and write the whole thing.
Sweet Baby Inc. needs to be shut down.
So they wrote the whole game from the credits.
According to the credits, yeah. And I'm going again. I haven't seen it myself. I just saw what was on the stream, and on the stream that was the only reference to writers that he found. So,
and if Alex says it, I mean,
he's usually pretty careful.
There. Yeah, there's something there. If he said it, there's something there. I hear that only one character that was respected from the writing perspective was Wonder Woman.
That's what I'd heard too.
I find that funny how that works out, right? Wonder Woman.
Yeah. She was apparently the only one they did some justice to.
Oh no, that was random. That was not a targeted thing. It's not what they didn't do it on purpose.
Don't defend them. Don't defend them like you defend IGN. Come on, don't do this now.
You were terrible with irony. You were terrible with irony, John T. Just like sarcasm, just right over his head.
I just love to torture you, man. It's okay.
We need to jolt off Sweet Baby. No. And this is where we fundamentally disagree. This is where we part ways, right? Me and a lot of people hold hands on the subject of this is bad, this is terrible. But then when the discussion becomes what to do, the result for me, the answer is not Sweet Baby needs to go away, or other game consulting companies like Sweet Baby need to go away.
Other gaming consultant companies are okay. Sweet Baby Inc. is being racist, being woke, and being they're pushing an agenda down people's throats that they don't want. They just want to play games. Quit pushing this shit down people's throats.
I'm going to side with Loke here because they have a right to do that. That's perfectly within the rules of a capitalistic society. You can create a company and have your goals and the things that you want to achieve. But as consumers, we need to decide whether or not that's what we want to be successful.
Exactly.
Right? We have that power. So we can just not buy games they're involved with to make a statement, or they'll continue to do what they continue to do. And that's perfectly fine. I mean, if the bulk of gamers have no problem with it, then I guess that's the way it is. You know, I don't specifically have an issue with anything they do other than games seem to be worse.
Yeah, they do.
And that's because there tends to be a forced agenda versus something that happens organically within the story.
Well,
you know, they got to write better stories.
Rebuttal that, Mental. What happened to creative freedom for these developers and writers? Because it sounds like it's all pushed agenda. I mean, you just said 13 of the writers in the credits were from Sweet Baby Inc.
Well, they were the only ones in the credits, right?
Oh, well, that's even worse.
So it's their game. They didn't consult on it. It's their game.
Well, yeah, unless you know, maybe Alex missed something, right? It's possible, but he scrolled back and forth in that section of the credits, and they were the only ones listed. Now, you know, maybe there was other people listed in a different spot. We don't know for sure. But you know, the point is they're well within their rights to be doing what they're doing, and
they
you know, fundamentally, I don't have a problem with that. I think my only issue exists when it affects the actual quality of games, because storylines are forced, and that's what I don't like. If it's organic and it works, I don't have a problem with it.
It's not even about being forced, dude. You can force it all you want. Does it work? Is it good?
It has to make sense,
the only
right?
The only reason people say forced, and I think people should stop saying forced. Nothing is forced.
Yeah,
maybe it's a bad word.
Any written work is forced, right? If it's not based on reality, I mean, technically, right? It's just they're making something up and just putting it in there, so you can't, you know.
Well, I could
forced is probably the wrong word.
Forced, but
it's either good or it's bad. That is it.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing.
Yeah, if it's good writing, it'll stand on its own.
Creative freedom, right? They kind of have creative freedom, right? Who knows who within the company is making the decision to say that we want these guys to be our writers, right? There's no difference than just hiring some, you know, left wing or right wing person to write your game. It's no different, right? It's you're making a choice to add this person as a writer to your team, and you're telling them, hey, you know, inject whatever you want into the game, right? That's their thing. That's their choice. So I don't think it is a negative against creative freedom as much as it's just bad writing, right? It's just
exactly.
Y'all just not good at your job, right?
Yeah,
it's just that's, you know, so you know,
and that's why I say it feels forced, right? I'm not saying like bad word, probably wrong word for it, but it just doesn't fit.
It's literally, I'm just not good at what I do.
Yeah.
There's a way to create a story where Batman dies at the beginning of the story.
Yep.
And it's beautiful.
There's a way to do it, and there's a way for it to make sense. I think I saw the clip with her conversation about it, right? And to me, that scene could work, provided her commentary towards him was more about what he did to Joker. Right? Because Joker dies in, well, you know, one of the games, right? And it may not be it was not technically his fault, but because of who she is, she doesn't have to know that it wasn't his fault, right? She could just be like, you killed Puddin', right? And this is payback, right? There's a way to tie it directly into the story where it doesn't seem like it doesn't make sense. But her diatribe about it at the beginning, at least, just like I said, I just saw a little small clip about it, and she's saying it was like really short, like I bet you're surprised it's me or whatever, right? What does that mean, right? If you do the same setup and you're like, remember when he was sick and blah 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 blah, I blame you for that. It reads differently, right? And to me, it would have been a more impactful scene. But
then it's an interaction between Harley and Batman. But the way they set the whole thing up, it was Sweet Baby and everyone that has this ideology that you need to hate any straight white man that has a gigantic legacy like Batman. It was them speaking to anyone that cherishes Batman. or what he stands for, or what they think he stands for. Let's go to some interesting points made here in the chat. If you guys want to chime in on them, go ahead. If not, we'll go back to the article. The dude said Suicide Squad, the game, was going to be a pile of doo-doo, no matter who worked on it. Let's be honest here. That being said, Sweet Baby Inc. should take a long walk off a short pier. So I'll go first on this one. I disagree. I think the multiplayer aspect of Suicide Squad would have been a hot pile of doo-doo. Sure, we can agree on that. But if the people that know how to write actually wrote Suicide Squad, most of us in here would be like, yeah, I played the campaign. It was a good time, and then I hopped off. And that's how most people were going to interact with this game. It would have been a game that a lot of people will be like, that multiplayer is terrible, monetization sucks, etc., etc. But that campaign was nice. So I disagree with the dude. It wouldn't be 100% the same if you remove Sweet Baby from the equation.
I agree with you on that, because the discourse around the game was immediately negative because it was a multiplayer game.
Exactly.
Regardless of people flying through the sky.
We didn't care nothing about Sweet Baby.
You know, yeah, exactly. The discourse around the game was already, terrible the minute they showed it, because we all expected a single player game from that studio. So the minute they said live service, that was it. Like
they didn't just
they were in
say
trouble from day
live
one.
Service.
So
Fritanga, if I'm not mistaken, Fritanga made a like a short video where for like 30 seconds it was just a compilation of the devs talking about service, live service, multiplayer, live service, multiplayer, multi-service, and everyone was just like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible. We knew nothing about the campaign, nothing.
Yep.
Some of us were even hyping the campaign, like, yo, let's get this game for the campaign and then we'll move on. No one knew anything about it. So now, yeah, that's why I disagree with the dude. Another interesting chat or comment here was from K Asante. Said, but I will also say, if SBI is crap, then call out SBI. But to throw the baby out with the bathwater is not right. Also, please stop saying woke. It's being used incorrectly.
So true.
K Asante, one of my favorite quotes. One of my favorite quotes that I always bring up on TSWS whenever I can. Where there is life, there is change. And I have come to accept that there is life in the language that we use. Even English today is not what it was 100 years ago. It's a different thing. So
it's okay, Sante. I'm gonna have to agree to disagree, bro.
Yeah, well, see, I think it's more about the co-opting of the word, right? But to your point, like, words are co-opted all the time, right? So for anybody who's pre this era, us 40 plus 50-year-old plus folks who know what woke was back in the 70s and prior, where it wasn't used the way it is now, right? It's kind of weaponized now, right? As a dirty word.
Yeah, there's two versions of it. There's the traditional one you're talking about, which is
the traditional one is calling out the bullshit, and the new version is, if you call out the bullshit, then you're saying, oh, why are you using it, right? So
exactly. So there's two versions of it.
Same word but two versions. So it has been altered over time.
It needs to be redefined for the second version, because the first version it claims the word woke because that what you were saying, but the part that where people talk about agendas and stuff and they say it's woke, they need to find a different word for that. But people have not found a word for that yet.
Agenda would work.
Yeah, agenda, you would think, but these people don't do that.
Just using the word agenda would probably fill the gap quite nicely.
Oh, I know. But when I say that, people are like, what do you mean by agenda? And then I have to go into a whole explanation.
But see, agenda, you can just say, look at a dictionary, right? It's clear.
Yeah, I know, but then you got to remember, people younger than me, I'm 29, people younger than me are not even smart enough to read a dictionary.
Okay, fair enough.
It's
to understand.
bad.
No, but okay. I have a replacement for the word woke. I have a replacement for the word woke. Red pill.
Now you're just going political and you're choosing one side, bro. That's
what
not,
you mean choosing one side? Did you not watch the Matrix, dude?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if you want to go based off the movie, but
red pill is not, dude.
terms,
I'm sorry. Hey, I don't live in New York. I don't live in Los Angeles. You can buzz off with that. The Republicans do not own the color red. Democrats do not own the color blue. All right, you can buzz right all the way to you can. You know what? The Rock said it best, right? You can fuck all the way off, right? with that rubbish. Right? When I say red pill, I'm talking the universal, the planet-wide meaning of red pill, which is the Matrix. Right? You take the red pill, and you see the world for what it
is. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is actually what the original meaning of woke was.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
They took it. But they took it.
Right. So yeah, red pill will work nicely.
Yeah.
That will work.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Red pill.
Done with that.
Raichi has also another interesting comment. Says, has anyone consulted religions before making them into super evil villains? Does the media ask if somebody felt targeted? And that's the hypocrisy of it, right? That's the whole discussion. Is that it matters? It matters when one side is attacked. When the other side is attacked, that's fine. So for the people that know how to compartmentalize and live with that cognitive dissonance, they'll accept it. For the rest of us, it's like, something's wrong here. Why is it okay to attack these guys, but it's not okay to attack those guys? Something is wrong. Because the natural human instinct is, if this type of behavior is okay, that means that someone can come and do to me something that is wrong, and no one's going to come and help me.
But isn't that the truth of human history? Has that changed?
How so?
People stand by and watch bad things happen all the time, bro. That's not nothing new.
Yeah, but are we not sitting here striving to be better, to be different? Are we not trying to do that?
I mean, listen, I've worked in corporate America for a long time. I've heard a lot of years and decades of strivings and not a lot of doings, right? So it's kind of I don't know, right? I don't spend a lot of my time trying to figure out why people do the nonsense they do, right? I don't. You can't change the human condition, right? You can call it out. You can clown it. You can be like, that's pretty damn dumb. Y'all are out your damn minds, but is it going to change their behavior because you're being, thinking high level about it? Like, this is how we could do it. I mean, who knows? It's nice. I mean, in theory, it's nice to think about these things and hope that people would, change their tune or see the world the way you see the world. But the likelihood of people, the rarity of somebody seeing the world through your eyes without experiencing the world through your eyes it's low.
Okay, Sante, do you not think that the four of us on this podcast, do you not think we are doing anything? Do you think that we are not changing any minds at all? Do you think by people putting out tweets, like people like Grums, do you think they're not changing anything?
What are they changing?
I think they're changing people's minds. Because
people
let me tell you why. Let me paint you this picture. 20 years ago, the world was a very different place to what it is today. Correct?
Very different.
In terms of what's accepted culturally and what's not accepted culturally. It was a very different world.
Some circles, sure. We've made gains in some places and backslid in others, but sure, okay.
Okay, that shift, was it not because people said something?
some of those shifts occurred not because people said things, but some of it because of what people did. Not just talk.
Same difference. It's the same difference.
No, not. I don't know.
In the digital age, speaking is especially depending on your platform, on the size of your platform, is speaking not akin to doing, because of the amount of people that are going to rally and make decisions based off of what you said. Why was Sweet Baby so triggered by Cabrutus? And why were we so triggered by Cabrutus that we ran? We broke our necks to subscribe to that curator list. And now he has a Proton account, and now people are doing donations directly.
But here's
to
the thing.
him,
Here's the thing.
so he can keep the
He
work
didn't
up.
say anything, right? He didn't say anything. He didn't write a forum. He did something, right? He created something so you could see it. He didn't say anything. He did something that got everybody else to react, including them.
Not a lot of people knew about Sweet Baby Inc. until this shit happened.
Exactly, but it was
Did you
their
know about
reaction
it, or no?
Prior to?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
no idea about this prior to.
Exactly, none of us did, except for Loke. He says he already knew about it.
I shouldn't say that. I had seen videos about it, but I didn't realize how much they were working on it, I guess. Because I never bothered to look them up.
It's just crazy how much influence they have in the gaming industry and how much they got into the writing and everything. It's kind of terrifying because, like, if you're going in and putting agendas or ideas that other people don't want to have in games because they just want to play a game and have fun and have a good story, because it's like Pixelbit G said, and it's like Mental said, games are getting worse. I don't know if you played newer games, but AAA is it's turning into shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's turning into shit. And I'm starting to get really annoyed by what the gaming industry is doing. And they think it's okay, you'll pay $70. No, we don't want a shiny turd that's $70. Either write a damn good product or we're not going to buy it. At least the people that are smart enough to not buy it.
Most people aren't.
Yeah, I know.
No, and to be fair, the market speaks, right? I mean, the games fail, right? A lot of these games that are having these messaging in them, right? They're failing. So the market is answering it, right? The remember how TLOU 2 landed like a thud, right? A lot of it is because people just say, I don't want to see that. I don't want that in my game. And they didn't buy it. So, the market, in things like this, the market will find a way to correct itself.
And as much as people were bitching about, Hogwarts Legacy this, Hogwarts Legacy that, 23 million plus in 1 year.
And which direction is Warner Brothers going?
I would say the plus. Why not?
It doesn't make sense, right?
Oh man, like they don't.
I enjoyed Hogwarts Legacy and I beat it and I had fun with it. So
I thought it was a good game.
Everybody that was bitching about it, whether you support
completion
that
percentage was like
sex, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Just play the damn
%.
game. It's a game.
It's a damn good game too.
Yeah, I know. It's a game. If you don't like it, skip the quest. It's really not that hard, guys. Get over it.
Oh, goodness.
It's not like they're pushing it in your face. Just skip the quest if that really bothers you. Simple.
Which quest are we talking about?
The one that was so controversial about having a transgender person in the game.
There's a transgender person in it. It
is one quest in the game.
That's the whole reason why this shit blew up.
Yeah, it's literally one quest in the game, right?
Yeah, it's one quest, and you can skip it. That's the funny thing. That's why I laughed.
That's not the reason.
No. But that's not the reason the game was unfun.
I know, because of what her name is, the writer of the books. Yeah. I mean, you know what? She should have just kept her mouth shut. And I mean, It doesn't matter if you agree with her or you don't, but at the end of the day, you don't need to say anything about it. At the end of the day, she's making money off that regardless, and she could have just kept more fans regardless if they're on her side or not. Who
You know
cares?
why the debate always was stupid to me? And I have my opinions about things, right? I'm
Yeah,
more
yeah,
right
of
wing
course.
than left, right? Y'all, if you see me on Twitter, I get people to work. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
are they canceling Mickey Mouse? Is he canceled? Has that happened yet?
Oh hell no!
Are they canceling Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny? Are they canceled yet? It's like
I know, right?
We are so selective with this shit. To me, it's just comical how selective they are about these things, right?
No, they haven't tried Mickey yet.
What is annoying is they're scared of Disney. The thing is, Disney's got a lot of power in the movie industry, and they're afraid to go against Disney. They're huge. They're a huge conglomerate. They're huge.
Let's go to Kesante's comment here. It says, "Oh, I definitely do think good work is being done here and other places. I'm just afraid that the message is getting drowned out by all this SPI stuff. Like they represent all quote unquote diversity, and that is just short-sighted."
Well, they definitely have the wrong management because they're definitely pushing an agenda, whether they're right or not. They're still pushing an agenda, and they're not being fair to everybody, and they're causing games to be worse, and that's not good. As a consumer, as a gamer, whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC or Nintendo, I don't want to be buying a shitty product. If I want to buy a product, especially $70, if it's not in Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or any subscription, I have to pay full price. It better be a damn good product. I don't want to half baked. I mean, that's a whole nother thing we have to talk about some other time. That's not even half of it.
Anyone else want to add to Kesante's point on SBI representing all of diversity?
Yeah, he's right. I mean, if when these things take off in the wrong direction like this, right? It's now anyone who's tied to any kind of diversity initiative is going to be kind of looked at with a side eye, which isn't fair, right? Some of these people are probably going to be good at their job, right? Some of these games are actually going to be good. We don't know, right? But part of this release, I think there was like a list of all the games that that they may or may not have been involved in, right? And one of the games involved is South of Midnight, right? So anyone with any American Southern roots who looked at that game and heard the sound, the music, I'm like, whoever did that understood the context. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. Like
the swamp.
They really understood the bayou, right?
South of Midnight looks like a good game.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be amazing, and in the character, like
we're just gonna have to wait and see how the story is. But yeah, it looks good.
But just from the little thing they shown, right, her interaction with Shaky Bones didn't sound crazy, right? It didn't
sound racist. It didn't sound offensive.
It didn't sound like anything provocative. Yeah, there was respect between the characters. There was nothing off-putting about it. Let me say that, right? So, and that's what you want, right? So if that game comes out and it's a hit or even just well-accepted game and it represents that area of the world the way it should, right? Speaking to the characters that come from that, the people that come from that place and respecting what voodoo is and all that other stuff, then I ain't mad at you. You did your research, right?
Yeah,
and
that's good.
You don't want to lose the ability to have that kind of stuff in games because you know, 20 years ago that game would never be made. Straight up, just it wouldn't happen.
Ever.
You know, we got Voodoo
especially
Vince.
not with that budget.
In comparison, right? We got Voodoo Vince. We had there was some other Voodoo game. I forgot the game on the original Xbox. I gotta remember the name of that game.
What, Blinks of Time Sweeper? What? Like what game? Conquer?
No. It was dark. It was it had I think the character was kind of designed to look like the guy who plays Candyman. Somebody in chat has to know this game. It's like an original Xbox game, but it was like a voodoo based game. But whatever. But it was interesting for the time, right? But it's you know, it's
the only dark one I could think of is Conquer because he cussed a lot and that was unheard of in games back then.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about specifically about voodoo, about black
art,
and
also black representation. Kesante, says another game is Zao Tales of Kenzera. I actually pre-ordered this one. Probably not even going to install it in my console.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered it.
Being honest,
they're probably going to give me double
looks good, but it's just not my type of game. But looks good though.
But he has a good point. He says also has SPI writers. So what are we going to say about that? We must just each individually instead of putting. We must just judge individually instead of putting a scarlet letter on SPI stuff, and that's where we get back together. Sante.
Well, that's not what we're doing, Sante. We're talking about the CEO.
Agree with you. Hold on, John TJ. Hold on, John TJ. The discussion here also should be like community wide, because the image that's being thrown out here about Sweet Baby Inc. and consultancies like them is blanket. So the same way, I think it's absolutely foul for that Kotaku writer to call all gamers racist, sexist, misogynist, whatever, right? The same way that is foul, it is wrong, and she needs to get called out for it. Anyone that judges Sweet Baby and all these other companies blanket wide the same way that they do on that side, that is also foul. That is also out of line.
Completely agree.
It needs to get called out. We need to start blaming companies and people individually. All right. So Sweet Baby, as a company, we can judge them for what they did to Suicide Squad. But when you look at Tales of Kenzera, look at it as a game on its own that was also made by Sweet Baby. Same thing for Midnight. What's it called? I'm forgetting the name.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight. We can't sit here and be like, any game that is made by Sweet Baby, I'm out.
Yep, exactly.
Any game that is made by all these other things, I'm out. Because there's good ideas to be had. The problem with Sweet Baby is not that they have woke stuff or they have black people or gay people in their games. That's not the problem. The problem is they seem to have a propensity for subpar writing. Tales of Kenzera is not even proper Sweet Baby because that one they actually consulted on. The lead writer and most of the people are EA. South of Midnight, I'm hoping they're actually just going to consult, because as it stands, their average is not great when they're like lead, right? They need to learn, they need to gain experience and so forth, and then they can give us something that brings their message, but is also entertaining, because I think they lack the entertainment part. That's the big problem here.
The CEO just has bad messaging. The CEO just has bad messaging. I'm not saying all the employees are bad. I'm just saying the CEO came out and was constantly bashing white people, white men exactly, and saying they're cis white males and they whine and blah blah blah. It's like, you don't think other people from other races whine about what a game is, what kind of writing's in a game? I mean, she needs to go do her research before she speaks, because she definitely is targeting one demographic, especially she's going after men. The funny part is, I bet you there's women that also complain too. But at the end of the day, we don't want to point the finger. All we want is do your damn research and stop making these games subpar. And if South of Midnight comes out perfect, then they did the research, which is good. I'm not saying the whole company's bad. I'm just saying the CEO is she's making the whole company look like a piece of shit, because she's not informed at all. Otherwise, she would not be saying what she was saying in that one interview, especially during that conference. Because that's not how a CEO is supposed to talk. Right now, she's as bad as Bobby Kotick being on live. It's pretty bad. She's a joke of a CEO.
Yeah. Mental. Speak on this specific topic, but also I'd like to get your take on what Vincent said. He said, but there's a difference in consumers saying no to SPI or versus one SBI worker calling out gamers. That means it is SBI policy.
Well, she's more than just an SBI worker, though. She's the CEO, right? Like, the buck stops here person. So if she's saying something specific, you can assume it's company policy. Otherwise, she's being very careless in what she's saying, right? Because she's the head of the company.
True.
So that would be like the CEO of the organization I work for. If he comes out and says something completely stupid, that reflects on the whole company. He wouldn't be CEO for long. The board of directors would kick him out, right? Because it's going to affect our stock price, everything else. We're an international organization, over 100,000 employees. It affects everybody if the CEO says something dumb because it reflects on everybody. That's just the reality in business. Now, that said, you had asked me another question before that about my thoughts on something.
And just 1 second, to your point, her saying something, if somebody else says something outlandish like that, right, you would expect other companies to run the other way.
Yeah.
Which you don't see in this scenario. So that's so like, look, like I understand when people are pointing out the hypocrisy of some of this stuff, right? Certain groups are allowed to say crazy shit and then get away with it, right? And other groups say it and it's like, oh my God, how could you say that, right? It's crazy on either side, no matter who said it, right? So her commentary was absolutely batshit crazy. Rather she feels that way or not, right? Rather, even if she had data to back it, right? As a person in her position, you cannot say crap like that and then expect to have no repercussions for it. So
generally speaking,
go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead. But
no, go
sorry,
ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just to say, generally speaking, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea to call your customers picky babies.
Yeah,
I think that's a very weird strategy.
Good
and
yeah, she kept hammering.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go around calling my customers names. It's the same thing I don't get with these like articles that are out there about this situation. You've got gaming journalists calling gamers names and basically alienating their own target audience. I don't get it.
Yeah, we see gaming journalists say stupid nonsense like that a lot, though, right?
No, but I don't understand. Stupid is not understanding like VRAM versus FPS and stuff like that. I think that's acceptable.
But nah, bro, name calling your audience
that's what I'm saying.
It's not a smart choice. It's just legitimately stupid. There's no good way to put that shit. Like
it's kind of like Reforged Gaming.
He
did the same thing to his fan base. I'm only gonna listen if you pay.
That is your audience. Yeah. And you are disrespecting your audience.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's no good response to that, right? Like you're disrespecting your audience. So look, if you're Howard Stern, and you think you're a shock jock, then by all means, right? But you write freaking some bootleg gaming magazine. So like, bro,
doesn't make sense.
Don't be like that.
You know how I feel about IGS. Don't get me started.
God damn.
That's why I like you, Pixel Bit.
Can't spell ignorant, Joe. But yeah.
Yo, settle down. The dude said it is also really low that SBI went after that gamer on Steam. His name is Cabrutus Rambo. He's Brazilian, and tried to get his account banned. Talking away a man's games, trying to take away a man's game is evil.
Well,
that's what he tried to do.
And all he did was list the games that were on their website. Right, that's where he got the list of games from. It, flip that. Consider an advertisement. If you're really proud of your work, why would you be upset about it?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. Like I said last week, Loke, if I was their PR rep, I'd tell them all to get off social media and shut up.
Everyone.
That's what I would do, because they're doing nothing but damage to themselves. I don't get it.
The way that they attack that guy, the way I look at it is, again, I would be looking at the game companies like, bro, like there should be smoke for game companies that are using them. if this is their response to just somebody aggregating data about them. He didn't do a campaign. He didn't make it like he didn't post a bunch of foul stuff. He just said, "Hey, look, this is the game. These are the games they worked on."
Yeah,
that's it. Hey, this is an aggregation of data, public information.
I use Steam every day. I'd never heard of it until it blew up because they blew it up.
Exactly.
Their own worst enemy.
So,
yeah, it's called the Streisand effect. All you had to do,
the Barbra Streisand,
your mouth shut. That's all you had to do. Kiasante, lay him out. Come on, Kiasante, don't be like that. Everyone loves IGN. All right.
No,
only the IGN.
At least not American
only
IGN.
The IGNorants.
All right. Let's go back to the article. Otherwise, we won't make it through today.
Yeah, we're gonna delve into a dark place in a minute. But go ahead, man. Let's go.
Jeez. PC Gamer's Harvey Randall entered the fray the next day, writing a piece for the outlet, which framed the backlash to Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in recent titles as nothing more than infantile whining from the internet's worst babies. Sorry, worst actors. My bad. It's so many babies. There's babies everywhere. Worst actors. My bad. Misquoted them. Admittedly beginning from with the comment assertion that, what? Is this how you start a sentence? Yo, admittedly beginning from with the correct assertion that
people,
something's wrong.
These are our writers.
They need to go back to English class.
Something is wrong here. All right.
You need something to decipher their writing. Go ahead, keep going.
The words are not wording. All right. and this is a website that is peddling information that we tacitly agree with here on this website. But if you write something incorrect, I'm going to call you out. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this? Admittedly, beginning from with the beginning with the. Anyway, here's the quote. Sweet Baby is about as capable of forcing a game developer to make grand sweeping changes to its story and characters as a contracted artist, musician, or catering company staff worker for office birthdays is. Randall, shut the fuck up, Randall.
It's already been disproven.
We saw oh no, it's Alex's video. Sweet Baby wrote the whole game. They wrote the whole story. So shut the fuck up. You know, I'm skipping this paragraph. I'm skipping. Anyone want to say anything about Randall's piece?
No, I think they should.
We get it, Loke. You're just butthurt. Like you don't like us talking about IGN.
No. This guy. You know what? Let's talk about IGN. All right? Let's talk about IGN.
Let's talk about it.
While we're on the subject.
Tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why you really mad, son.
Pixel Bit G's gonna roast you, man.
He's going to roast me?
Yeah, because he doesn't like IGN either.
That's a Pixel problem. That is not a Loke problem. All right. Let me just let me do something real quick here. You guys would appreciate it.
All you have to do is type in IGN, pull up their shittiest post that they just did recently, and it's easy to find, man. It takes 2 seconds.
Cope and seethe, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this picture triggers every single one of you. All right? Because I'm about to say something, since we're talking about the whole Sweet Baby thing, that no one can disprove. With all these shenanigans, with these websites playing defense for Sweet Baby and consultancies and consultants that have been harassing gamers, etc., IGN at no point has taken part in such shenanigans. For this specific subject, that is the so-called Gamergate 2.0, IGN has maintained its credibility and honesty by not
staying silent.
taking
Yo, did
by
he
not
say?
taking part
Well, I'm
in
sorry.
this
Did you?
rubbish.
Well, look, I can't, bro. I can't. Did
Yes,
you
let's
hit the
go.
desk
Let's go.
when you said the integrity and honesty?
I
Stop
was pausing for
playing
effect.
with
I was
me.
pausing for effect. I was pausing
Get
for
the
effect.
fuck out of here, bro.
Oh my.
Wait.
Yo.
I would like anyone. I would like anyone to put in the chat. Put it in the chat if there's a link that disproves what I just said.
You can't spell ignorant without IGN.
IGN is not a part of the DEI Defense Force.
All right, so you're gonna give that's their claim to fame for the week. So
no,
I think
they claim
it's
to fame.
Kotaku, right?
Defender.
Which one is the
That's
one
what they
that's quick to jump on nonsense like this and run with it? I think is it Kotaku?
No, Kotaku was the first one to come out. The one with
it's either them.
Montante.
Yeah, I think it's Kotaku. They have a bunch of weirdo writers that like to say dumb shit too.
She said racism is not real if there's white people involved.
Okay.
Or if
so they leave it to them.
white people.
They don't. IGN didn't have to say anything because they know they got partners who will happily do it for them.
Nah,
so good for them. Good for them. Good for them.
Nope.
Good for them.
Nope. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. You cannot assign blame without action. We just got done talking and agreeing just now. You can rewind the podcast. We just got done talking, and we need to stop need to stop talking about people and organizations with blanket statements.
Oh,
we just agreed to it.
You're right. This is the one time that IGN didn't step on the rake for themselves. Fair enough.
Let's go.
The first time in history.
It's the first time in a long time. Congratulations.
A win is a win. A win is a win. All right.
Let's put a hand of applause for IGN for shutting the fuck up finally. Good.
Thank you.
I know, right?
IGN. Appreciate you.
Mental. I don't see you clapping.
Do it more though. I just need
they need
my
to
hands
the
were
lottery
clapping
now
below
they
screen.
Did good for once.
Below my camera height.
Mental say, what the hell, man? Pixel God, bro.
Mental's like, I don't care.
Yeah. I don't.
I really don't care about this topic either, but it's just funny.
They're too busy making sure their 40% marketing provider, Sony, is getting shielded with the no games till April 2025 thing.
Oh, bro. But it's a good thing. You didn't hear? You ain't hear? You ain't heard?
Yeah, it is a good thing.
2013. It's a good thing.
Listen. You guys need to let me and IGN bask in our victory.
Sony pays the bills for IGN.
Just give us 5 seconds. You guys need to give us 5 seconds. All right. Settle down.
All right.
Jesus. They're too busy reviewing Sea of Thieves for no reason. Asante, you were very quiet. Suddenly, when it's time to stomp on IGN, you're all over the place.
I appreciate
when you talk about
IGN and with the additional slander. That's my man right there. Go ahead, Kay. Get him, Kay. His Halo role finally ended, so now he got all the time in the world. Get him, bro.
All right, let's carry on with the article. Stepping into the ring the next day, the Guardian's Keza McDonald. Does anyone want to see what Keza McDonald looks like?
Yo, I could really guess, but go ahead, let's go.
I think I have this article. Yeah,
it's a person related to Ronald McDonald, and it's a person like eating a lot of hamburgers or what? Because I don't know. Based off that name, doesn't sound good.
It's not McDonald first and foremost. It's McDonald, and the McDonald brothers would probably not be happy with that characterization.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wow.
I had to do some research the other day about them because somebody had said something about it Mac or Mick, and I'm like, it's definitely Mick because they're from an Irish family.
Yeah, McDonald.
And they're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, they're the McDonald's, like McDonald.
Yeah, Mickey D's.
Yeah, Mickey D's for a reason. It's not McDonald's.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I look at people weird when they say McDonald. I'm like
where?
Okay, MACK.
There's no way.
I don't see that.
Yeah, there's no way in there.
Shocking.
So that is the face of Keza McDonald.
Yes.
McDonald, sorry.
No, because like that's an actual McDonald. Okay, fair enough.
This is McDonald.
That's a Mac, not a Vic. Got it. Fair enough.
Like, I'm just saying, right? Looking at that title, it's 10 years since Gamergate. The industry must now stand up to far-right trolls. Like, that title and that face.
Now, I'm trying to figure out, is that a guy or a girl?
It's them, I guess.
Man,
you never know nowadays. So
let's go back to the Bounty into Comics article before they cancel us. Because because no, I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Sadly, you cannot correctly answer that question and not find yourself in a ball of BS. Which is why I said it's a they.
No, you know what's even more sad, Pixar?
I just call it
more sad.
Yeah, it's irrelevant for the conversation.
It is
I think
irrelevant for the conversation. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You know what's really sad though, is that we could have stayed on that picture and ripped that person for like an hour, and because me and Pixel are black, no one can cancel us.
I don't know about that, bro.
Even though the act of what we're doing, if you flip it around, whoever is the white dude, right, making fun of a black face on the internet, immediately canceled.
Exactly. It's a double standard.
I gotta turn my camera off.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm the white face. That's
I wouldn't do nothing like that anyway.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
If I'm a smoke, I'm gonna smoke for you being a clown. But you know.
But the comparison I made, dude. I'm just saying, like, was anyone shocked that title went with that face? I wasn't.
No, I wasn't
forcing anyone to respond.
Not really, no.
That to be the look, right? But it's it's an extreme viewpoint, right? I don't know if
it's irrelevant.
I don't know if the response they got back was really far right trolls as much as it was just people responding to nonsense in general, right? Because there was a smattering of folks responding to it. It wasn't just one group or the other, right? A lot of gamers across all different, walks of life responded to this. It wasn't just one group. So
yeah,
I don't know how that article comes to be, right? It just once again, right? It's one of those blanket statements like, oh, it's just these guys, and it's the same group from that time. But it's not. It's wider than that,
The dude says, "My name is Paul, and this is between you all. I don't need to be canceled." See, like, it's so bad. It's so bad we can't even make fun of each other anymore.
Because we look, we could all be joking about this because we're not taking it serious, but someone that could be hopping into this chat can take it the wrong way because let's say they never watched this podcast before. So they could just sit there and say, "Oh, you're being racist," or "You're being this," or whatever, and they won't know the whole
metric. And what's sickening is that by their metric, I can't be racist. Do you understand? Do you understand what the problem is? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty bold statement. If you can't say one side can't be racist, well, that's actually wrong because both sides can be racist and both sides cannot be racist at the same time. So
there's a reason why people say that, only because of I think it's the pure definition of it's about institutional racism, not the
systemic racism.
And it's also how you're raised.
Systemic racism that black folks in the U.S. cannot be because they don't own enough systems to control anything to be racist in that level. That's what the term first came from. But like woke, here's somebody altering something and making it, just we can't be racist. Black folks can be very racist. Like
by definition,
we got jokes for y'all too, all day, every day, right? So
I don't doubt it. Exactly. They're probably very funny too.
They are probably funny,
or they could be very insulting, right? Whatever works, right?
It just depends on how you take it.
I'm tough to insult.
Yeah, but again, right? The point is, right? Some things you could say that you would think is insulting might not be to somebody, right? But it's the notion that a group can't be, it's just, that's just weird, because it's not true.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
But if she said, systemic, then yeah, you got a point.
Different
here, right?
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. Let me tell you guys a quick thing about marketing. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are aware, but this whole thing about you can't be racist towards white people is because it's not sexy to say you cannot be systemically racist towards white people. You've lost like 90% of the room. Everyone's out. No one's buying that T-shirt.
The true. Okay, it's not a. There's no good slogan for it. Fair enough.
Exactly.
Right. But trust me,
and that's why
there's been racially discriminated beatdowns in every neighborhood in the U.S. and especially in the New York and East Coast area back in the days. It happened, right? That was a racist act. I can assure you, that's what it would be, right? So you can definitely act. Any group can have racist acts, right? Any group can be prejudiced against another group, right? So yeah, it's a dumb statement, and it's fair enough when somebody says that. You just say, "Yeah, that's a dumb statement."
That's a dumb statement.
It's a dumb statement. It just is what it is. And you shouldn't get roasted for telling somebody that that's a dumb statement.
I think you should coin that, Pixel Bit. Instead of calling people racist, just say, "I think that's a dumb statement." Yeah, I think you should coin that, because the thing is, people they immediately go to, "Oh, that's racist." It's like, no, it's just a dumb statement.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes it literally is just stupidity at play. It's nothing more than that, right? The
person may not even be racist. The thing is, they might have just had a dumb outtake, and it was just terrible timing and terrible, thought and idea, and it came out wrong. So, I mean, everybody's not perfect in this world. So,
God damn, the dude really went through it in middle school. Jeez. Oof.
Had race war in middle school, so it was going down in Brooklyn back in the 80s. So yeah.
Okay, so the Guardian's Keza MacDonald escalated the fight even further by outright declaring that it's 10 years since Gamergate, the industry must now stand up to far-right trolls. 10 years ago, it was female games journalists and critics in the firing line, she declared. That was a woman. Okay. This time, it's narrative designers, but the conspiracists. Motherfucker, it's not a conspiracy. The CEO. You see, this is why we went 3 hours last week. This is why, and we didn't finish.
But no. So there's two things that are happening right now, right? The person is either ignorant of what this company does, or they're gaslighting. But we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to quickly assume that they're being ignorant, because you're a writer. You should know what the company actually does. So
I'm going to have to agree with you. Yeah.
The conspiracists.
Willfully ignorant, I would say, because it takes 2 seconds to do a little bit of research on, because the topic's huge, right? Even a week ago, it would have taken 2 seconds to find out what sort of started it all. And it was literally when his name, Chris, tried to have that Steam group shut down and the guy's account taken away. That's what started it all.
Yeah. So
what else can I say?
According to Keza, the conspiracist message is diversity has no place in games. So
which is so false.
Right? So the conspiracist part shows that you didn't do a week's worth of research. The diversity has no place in games shows that you haven't done research in gaming at all. Like, ever. You probably don't even know what video games are.
Maybe Loke should take her job.
I wish I could work at the Guardian.
Yeah, well, at least you know about gaming.
Earning in pounds. I also know how to edit. But the point is,
and proofread.
And proofread. Geez, the amount of articles we go through on this show and on
Every
Sunday,
single
on Friday.
one.
It's like they rushed it in like
Every
20 minutes.
single one.
Done.
Who's the editor?
Like, my dude.
Right?
Exactly. I don't even blame the writers. I'm like, my dude, do you not read before you press the publish button? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So here, your first mistake was saying the conspiracist message. First off, the people here reacting, we are taking the words spoken by the leadership of this company, right? That's what we're doing. We're taking those words and then we're turning them on the people. That's all we're doing. And that's what's triggering the masses. People are pissed off because they don't like what they heard at GTC. There's no conspiracy theory. There's no found footage that was like sealed in area in 59 or 69 or whatever. All right, it was on YouTube for months. Now people care. That's the only difference. If you are a woman, queer, or a person of color working in this industry, you should expect the worst. What the fuck is this, guys?
I think that's just categorically false. But
further attempting to frame Sweet Baby.
This person has no
the funny
brain,
thing is, that's a conspiracy theory in itself, in my opinion. Like,
this is the conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't think that that's true, but at least it's certainly not true in the company that I work for.
Further attempting to frame Sweet Baby Inc. as the victim of rising Gamergate 2.0, McDonald ultimately asserted, nobody is forcing diversity into video games. It is happening naturally as players and developers themselves diversify. Gamergate didn't intimidate women out of video games 10 years ago, and we won't be intimidated now. What's this we stuff? Anyway, sorry, my bad. Anyone have anything to say about this article with McDonald?
I mean, do you guys agree? Do you think that they're not putting diversity in the games, or do you think they should diverse more?
So, first question is, when have studios diversified? Did I miss this?
I know, right?
There's a lot of posting of studios that are just, it's a whitewash. Did that change? So, the problem is, right, the statement is false because the industry, given its time and its own means, wouldn't diversify it the same way technology wouldn't and hasn't in the almost 30 years I've been in technology. That's just the reality, right? You hire what you look like. That's human nature. So the industry, unless you're getting studios that are created from
it's
other
about
groups,
access also.
Right, it's access, right? You get studios from other groups, and then you get more diversity into games because there's new voices in those games, right? You're hiring different people. There's different world views being shown, right? So some of it is being, injected into games, and that's
what I think it
partially required because it hasn't shifted fast enough. But go ahead.
Pixel, I think the whole diversification thing, it goes the same way that it did with, or that it does with sports and companies in general. Welcome in Poison Maniac. When I talk about access, I'm talking about, let's say, tech program. The best usually get in early. The best programs, they usually get in early.
Get in where?
The issue, sorry?
Get in where?
Into their field.
Depends
usually
on
what happens.
But yeah,
it
okay.
depends on
we'll go with
the
that
job.
Hold on. So what usually happens is the people in the low income situations usually don't have access to the jobs that need like a long time for specialization and a lot of monetary investment before you start doing the job.
Yep.
And a lot of tech is like that. It's almost like medicine. It does take a while.
It is a specialized field.
It does take a while to get going in terms of money. And people with low incomes usually need a job that's going to get them money now. Okay? So
sure,
I don't 100% agree with you hire people that look like you. What
you don't have to 100% agree with it.
Yeah,
for it to be
you don't have to
the
go
fact
looking
of
for different.
If
you're okay, go ahead, Luke.
Let me finish. What I see as like the result of the situation in like gaming and maybe even tech is there's a very small amount of people like Pixel with his qualifications and his experience and his skin color, because all these companies, they benefit from DEI programs, whether it's government or whether it's private like BlackRock and whatever. They all benefit and they all do their best to recruit as many people of color, as many people that are apparently diverse because of what's on their genitals and what they like to put their genitals on, right? Because there's a financial incentive, but they just aren't enough of those people that have those qualifications that can actually do the job. So what happens is you have a situation with Sweet Baby where it's like, okay, we're going to force this. We're going to take Loke, right? He doesn't have training. He doesn't have classical training in journalism, but we're going to take him and we're going to make him a journalist at The Guardian because it suits our metrics. And then we're probably not going to do the work in terms of he now needs, okay, he's here, right? But okay, now let's send him for the classical training. That doesn't seem to be the goal here. The goal seems to be just get the people in, give them the opportunity, and they will just learn and things will just happen. And that's where you end up with this type of situation.
Exactly.
That's my
because
personal opinion on it.
People gotta stop looking at it and like saying, oh well, they gotta go out and go look for personally like black people or Mexicans or whoever you want to get as a job as someone to fill that position. The thing is, you can't look at it like that. I look at it more racist as a company to sit there and do that and have to go like, oh, I have to because I don't want to get canceled. Well, then you're racist in general because you're going out of your way to do it because it's like, no, you don't look at color and you just sit there and you just say, okay, does this person have the qualifications at the end of the day, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, they're Korean, whatever, Japanese, it doesn't matter. As long as they got the qualifications, who cares? Hire them. But I don't like it when companies, like especially Disney, like, oh, we're just gonna change this person, and it's like, no, just create another character. It's simple. You can create another character, but you're changing it because you're afraid you're gonna get canceled because you got this stigmatism in your mind that you have to be diverse when you already could be diverse. Just stop looking at it as a color thing and just hire the people as they come in and base them off their expertise, not their color. That's what really drives me nuts about these companies. They go out and they're like, oh, I need to have this many of this type or whatever, so I look like a good company. It's like, dude, don't do that. You know what? That just makes you look way worse when you do that shit. It's way worse.
But companies don't care about how they look. Companies care
I know,
about
and
their bottom line.
but it's sickening as a consumer.
Participating.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? Companies don't hire people, right? People hire people.
Yeah.
When you say company is like it's a machine, right? And
it
runs with cogs, right?
This guy has a problem with HR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who? Who?
You.
Me?
It's people
No.
that hire people.
But it's true. People hire
You have
people,
a
right?
story to tell.
So I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I can. There's resumes that get thrown in the garbage because of a name, bro. Like, so let's not pretend that like we live in a world where it's always the best man gets the job. You know how many mediocre motherfuckers I work with? I see mediocre people rise all the time. It just is what it is. So you can't
that
tell
I can
me
agree with.
that we can be in 2024 and we look at these game companies and we see they take these big group photos and shit, and you're like, bro, nobody's
Let
there.
me tell you why I'm okay with that. Hold on.
Up.
Let me
I'm
tell
not.
you why
I'm not.
okay.
Whoa, hold up. I'm not. Right. I don't have an issue with it. Right. I'm like, if I want my game, I'll make my game. Right.
Yep.
My thing is, if you don't make the claim, right, don't tell me that there's been these major growth in equitable hiring in corporations all these years when it's bullshit and we know it. Don't tell me that. I'm not for the bullshit, right? Spare me that part of it. Okay, just keep it funky. Hiring has been what hiring is.
Keep it funky.
That's what it is.
Pixel, I have a question for you, and this is
sir.
As someone that doesn't live in the States. I've been there twice, and like
State's
Mental
awesome,
and John, TJ and Mental, please don't take this as me being racist towards white people, but I need to say it this way so the question to Pixel will make sense. Pixel,
we'll see. But go ahead.
Pixel. The lack of pigmented people in the States is jarring. Like,
coming from
I've been
where
to
you
South
come
Africa.
from, absolutely.
Where did you go?
It has
where
to
did
be.
You go?
It has to be.
Like, I've been to South
even
Africa.
if you go to New York, it has to be like, what the hell?
Yeah, like
it depends on where you go. Pixel will back me up on this. It depends on where you go. There's certain parts of the country that's diverse.
Let me finish the question. The point is, after seeing like one or two black people and even feeling uncomfortable when I saw them, like to the point where I wanted to just be like, "Hi, fellow black person," right? After experiencing that, I looked into it and then I found out black people make up like 12% of the US population.
It's closer to 15, but go ahead.
Okay. 15% of the US population.
Sure.
For me, after looking at that, I kind of think, okay, when you look at those dev pictures and there's like 20 people total and there's like 5 black people. Oh, no.
Nah, I'm talking there's 100 people total. And I'm not talking black people, right? There's more than black people in the U.S. is made of a mixture of people. I'm not just talking
about Sweden, German,
blacks and Hispanics and Asians. There's a lot of folk in the U.S., bro. So you can't.
I'm talking black specifically. I'm talking black specifically.
No, but I wasn't talking black specifically.
Specifically.
Yeah. The Foster 64 ounce is kicking in now, but go ahead.
Let's go.
But go ahead, finish your question. So you're saying
my question. When I saw that, hold on. When I saw that, I was like, okay, so maybe it's not. Actually, I felt kind of betrayed because then I was like, dude, why is it when I watch American movies? Because if you're talking on the modern interpretation of woke, movies that had movies and TV shows that had lots of black people have been around forever. I thought half of the population in the States was black. That's what I thought.
You just don't watch enough movies, my friend. You need to watch more
kind
movies.
Of betrayed. I felt betrayed. I was like, dude, I thought America was full of black people, right? And then when I look at that, I try to be honest with myself because for me, logic must make sense going forward and going backwards, just like math. All right. So if 2 + 1 is 3, then 1 + 2 is 3 as well. If you were to show, if I was to show you the development team of a African company, and we do have African gaming companies.
No, you don't.
You would. We do. We do, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're missing the sarcasm here, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just standing in for Ham Solo.
This guy.
Pixel.
What? Okay, now I
Playing
know
the part of
position.
Ham
Now I
today,
know.
we have
Now I
Pixel
know.
Bit G.
There we go. There we go. There we go. He's doing a good. He's doing a good impression.
Yeah.
Point is,
Got you there.
if you show a picture, right, of that team, there will be the same breakdown of
Absolutely.
the 100 people in this Nigerian company. There's 2 white guys.
And yeah, you would have here we call it having a fly in the, what is it, a raisin in the rice. In your case, it'd be like a piece of rice in the black beans. But go ahead.
In the black beans. Point is, right, I'm okay with that picture. I'm okay with seeing that Nigerian picture where you have 98 black people.
Yeah, because it's to your favor. If it's in your favor,
bro. No. It's not.
Is that representative?
I'm only messing with you. I know where you're going. I'm only messing with you.
Because it represents the demographics of the country.
Absolutely.
And let me put the icing on the cake. France, their World Cup team. I think you guys saw the meme. Their football World Cup team had 1 white dude. The French national team had 1 white dude in the national team.
I mean, that isn't too far off from the NFL. So what's your point?
And when you,
exactly
post 1950, because before that it was a whitewash. But go ahead.
Yep.
If you got the skills, you get the job, right?
Yep, that's how it works in the United States.
And now,
so if you got the skills, you get the job. Doesn't matter what race or color you are. It doesn't matter.
It works better in sports, but I get your point.
Let
I
Luke
do get
finish
your point.
his thought.
But go ahead, Luke. I'm sorry.
All right. So with football, in the French national team, they have about 10 million French people in their country, but black people only make up 3 million. That's not even 50%. But the entire national team is made up of black dudes, right? Save the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, I think. And that doesn't reflect the reality on the ground because it is 100% performance-based in sports.
Yep.
Exactly.
That means all those black people on that team did a better job than all the French people, so they just were better. So at the end of the day, they should feel great.
When it's office stuff, it's harder to gauge who scores more goals, who makes the most 3-pointers, who makes the most touchdowns. But on average, what happens around the whole world is that the dominant race in that country fills out most of the positions. Why?
Sure, majority rule.
Not because of racism, because there's more of them. That is all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If it's racism in the States, then I have to turn around and say it's racism in Nigeria. And I don't think it's racism in Nigeria, so it can't be racism in the States.
Because you don't think it can be.
No,
that's an interesting concept.
I think it can only be racism. Let me finish. I think it can only be racism if in the office setting that you cannot gauge performance, right, effectively, like you can do in sports. If it was the opposite, where black people made up the minority, the black people made up the majority of the U.S. population, but when you go to these cushy jobs and whatever, the majority of the staff is white. And this is where I'm going to round it all out, and then I'll leave it up to you guys. In Zimbabwe and South Africa, there's this little dichotomy at the top level positions in banking, and it's a joke that we have in the southern region of Africa, SADC. In Zimbabwe, the top execs of all the banks you will find 1, 2 white people. In South Africa, it's the complete opposite. But in South Africa, the white people make up the minority of the population. So there's a problem there. There's something to be thought about. There's an issue there. It's not adding up. The math is not math. But in Zimbabwe, it makes complete sense because there's almost no white people in Zimbabwe. So yeah, you'll find 1 or 2 in the top positions. But on average, what you're going to see is black people everywhere. So that's why when I look at this whole thing about the devs being brought into gaming, it's kind of like 90% of gaming really is Japan, not many black people. Europe, not many black people. The States, I'm sorry, Pixel, not many black people. So for me, it's kind of like
See, here's the thing, right? So no one is arguing that, right? My only comment is the claim that there's been this big push. That's the argument. Nothing else.
It's disingenuous.
I'm not arguing that. It's miss me with the bullshit. That's it. I get it, right? I get the numbers don't work.
Stop inflating these fake articles saying, stop throwing there's been a high peak of diversity of African Americans coming into gaming.
Save me that
it's
part.
It's like you're full of shit.
Yeah,
you're full of shit.
I can respect that numerically it doesn't work out. I get it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's fine. Just don't tell me the numbers work. Oh, we're doing this great work. And I'm like, where?
What are they doing it for clicks?
Right? And we all know that. All the dudes who work in tech out here, we know it. We talk to each other when we run into each other like, bro, stop playing, right? It's true. They all do it. But it's like, who are you fooling with this bullshit every year?
Wow.
Oh, we're having another diversity push. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Right? And it's fine. But it's like, come on, son. Just stop saying it. So yeah, nobody's gonna argue the math, right? If it's only 15% and only 1% of the 15% are in tech, you get what you get.
Yep.
Right.
And
like we don't go to do tech, right? We do other shit, right? We want to do other things. If I'm from the hood, which I was, we do other things.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
That's another misconception. Everybody looks at black people when they say, "Oh, well, only 1% is in the gaming industry." It's like, well, not everybody wants to do gaming. Hello, they do other shit too, guys.
All programming, come on, right? It's
Dear God.
It's complex and it's not just a 1-to-1 count. So, but yeah, so that's fine.
The point you make, the point that you make in the comment makes sense for the farmers in South Africa, because that is property that is passed down. It doesn't work for companies. It doesn't work for banks. It doesn't work for big tech companies, because people submit CVs and then they get jobs. That's why for that specifically, it doesn't, or they don't get jobs. So it only applies to hereditary power. But in terms of the power that you can go and acquire by hard work, it doesn't apply. But let's go back to this article. Jesus, it's already been 3 hours, guys.
And we haven't got good video, dude.
That was good stuff.
We haven't really even got. This is how we got lost last week. We haven't even gotten to Elon Musk video. We haven't gotten to the Matt Walsh video. We haven't even gotten to the chick from Sweet Baby
who's running the show.
She straight up just said
he's a terrible time manager.
You know what? You know what this is about, guys. I'm not. I think so. Pixel. This goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the show before you wrapped up. I think there's too much of just dissemination of information.
Yeah,
we aren't giving each other. We're not giving each other time to properly chew on the subject. And I'm not even talking about for content purposes, for subscriber purpose. I'm talking about for the purpose of understanding what's in front of us and what's being presented to us, for the purpose of being woke, right? Because I'm trying to be woke. I done been woke. That's why I don't understand people that don't read the articles. People that look at the headlines and then they make a breakdown just
Snap
from that
decision.
Yeah.
They make up their mind off the title.
I don't care if this eventually becomes a Sweet Baby podcast. I don't care. Let's go back to the article. We're gonna get through this, guys. As you know, I swear, I don't care how many updates keep happening. As the updates keep happening, I have this tab here for this podcast. I'll keep adding the updates.
You're gonna have 100 tabs at the end of the year.
Guys, if we're still here in December trying to break this motherfucker down, that's what we're going to do. Because they're counting on our exhaustion. They're counting on us being lazy. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on us receiving so much information, being bombarded by information that we give up and we're like, okay, master, tell me what I should do. Tell me what I should think. And the reason I want to have you guys on here is because I want to have these nuanced discussions, no matter how tedious. Anyways, let's go. So this is a quote from Mary Keeney. No, Sweet Baby did not kill your game, declared Insomniac Games Associate Narrative Director.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Following a lengthy Twitter thread as documented by our nerdigans. Okay, so we're not going to open this thread. We're not going to do it. In which she clarified, do you guys want me to open the thread?
Go ahead, man.
Oh my God. We might do a 4-hour podcast.
We're not going to cover everything today, I'm sure, but I'm just saying. The next one might be just as bad. As well.
All right. Let me. God damn it. We're going to do like 10 parts, like part 10 of the Sweet Baby shenanigans. What's this? Loki is making us exhausted to defend Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby. He wants to silence our voices.
Oh, that's so sad.
That is some bull. All right. That is fake news. Everyone knows that is fake news. All right, here we go. In response, so this is from @Packer P9K_girl, Packer girl. In response to the Sweet Baby Inc. discourse, Associate Narrative Director at Insomniac Games, Mary Kinney, posted a thread on narrative consulting in games work. So here's the first screenshot. I'm guessing this is a screenshot because Mary eventually deleted it. Some of you don't seem to understand narrative consulting on games works, but don't worry, I do. Yes, this is about Sweet Baby because I've worked. Yeah, I've worked with that team, and they're one of the finest in the business.
So, Mary used to work at Kotaku.
Oh,
yeah, there's your problem right there. She worked at Kotaku.
Right. So. There you go.
No,
I'm just looking at her profile.
No,
she was part-time. That was in 2016.
Again, no. Even if she was permanent. Remember.
Hey, then she was at Telltale. Hold on. I'm giving her work history. It's on LinkedIn. Then she was a lead writer. No, I'm just giving you guys her background, right? So I don't know. I had never heard of her before, so I thought, well, I'll look her up and see what she's done. So she was a weekend editor at Kotaku. Then she was a lead episode writer at Telltale. Then she was a freelance writer in the San Francisco area. Then she was a lecturer in Indiana University in Bloomington, part-time, and now she's the associate narrative director at Insomniac, and that's since 2019. So she did a lot of stuff in a couple of years, and she's done some stuff along the way, which is interesting because she was the lecturer in Bloomington there during the time that she's been at Insomniac Games. So she's worn a lot of hats.
All right. So
besides the one in her profile pic that says "Daddy" on it.
I want to call you guys out, and I want to call myself out. This is something that I've done before, but now I'm purposefully pulling myself back every time I feel the temptation. See, when Mental said she worked for Kotaku, and then it was like, oh, okay, so it all makes sense. No,
that's why I added context.
Listen, we're falling by having that reaction. We as a community, we're falling into the exact same trap that racists and sexists fall into. It's like someone does something wrong on the road, and then you drive up to them, and it's a woman. It's like, oh, okay, obviously, that's what. No.
Yeah, no.
That's wrong.
That's why I added context.
So we can't agree that Kotaku writes shit articles.
No. What Kotaku does write shit articles.
Hold up. No.
Let me finish.
They write
Let me finish my point.
We can't say that.
Let me finish. They do write shit articles. What I'm saying is we cannot judge people solely off of their association with one company.
Exactly. Well, that I agree with. But it's a long time ago too. We're talking like 8 years ago.
Pixel, Drawn TJ, these blanket statements, and everyone in the chat, these blanket statements, we leave that to other people. We don't deal in blanket statements because we know that's wrong. And it doesn't lead to the edification of anyone involved, whether it's the one pointing the finger or the one who's being pointed at. All right? But here we go. So they shared this associate, what? Oh, okay. This is her stuff. Here's the thread. She said, it starts with dev team. It starts with dev team has an idea. So far, so good. Maybe they already have an outline of their story and a core gameplay loop. Also good. Maybe they've got a whole script and a playable build. Either way, something is missing. Could be any number of things. A character feels underbaked, maybe a whole faction. The backstory of a map has weak sauce world building, and no one on the team has time to do the research and brainstorming to make it cool. Maybe the dev team has gotten a ton of notes from developers plus execs on things that aren't working in the game. Maybe the notes are all internal. The team knows something is wrong, but not how to identify or fix it. So far, so good. Well, we agree?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next, wherever you are in development and wherever the notes are coming from, the problem is the same. Something's wrong and the team can't figure out how to fix it. That's when you call Sweet Baby. So see right there, I'm calling cap. Because we already saw what happened with Suicide Squad. According to Ono Italics and the video that he showed on his live stream, the entire writing team for Suicide Squad was Sweet Baby Inc. So
and again,
there needs to be a correction.
It's possible that
she needs.
It's possible something was missed.
No, it's not that it's not possible. This might be one of the ways that Sweet Baby functions, but you're being disingenuous if you don't bring up, especially if you're going to take the time to make a thread and you know what people are bitching about. You're being disingenuous. You're purposefully being disingenuous by not stating that Sweet Baby does also write entire stories. You're being disingenuous. The next part is key because some of you seem really confused. Narrative consultants do not get final say. So again, right, refer to the last point I made. And they don't override the core dev team and leads. It doesn't get into the game if we don't approve it. They consult, they do research, pitch ideas, give feedback, and maybe even write scripts. But none of that gets into the game unless the core dev team agrees with it. I'm going to keep saying that because it's key. You know what's key, Mary? You know what's really key It's that the main person, right? Beautiful Kim Belair with her flowing locks said it herself. If we don't get our way, we go to marketing, not the dev team. We go to marketing and we scare them into doing what we want. I am not paraphrasing. That is literally what she said, Mary. Anyone want to add anything before I go into the next?
We lost Pixel. I don't know if he's trying to rejoin or not, but did we just lose Loke? Are you still there, Drawn? Or am I the one that's out?
I'm still here.
Games.
Okay.
They literally wrecked Suicide Squad, the campaign side at least. They literally did it.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Lost you briefly there, Loke. But Pixel's trying to rejoin.
What?
We had lost him. Yeah, there we go.
Wait, where did you guys lose me? Where did you guys lose me?
Geez, what was the last thing you said before you came back?
The threat, where she said that they don't just the consultants don't force.
Yeah, you were talking about the long flowing locks and the threat and going out with marketing and threatening them.
Beautiful flowing hair. She said that. So again, Marikini is wrong here, because these consultants do force things if the devs don't agree, because they don't talk to the devs. They escalate it, right? For anyone that has worked in the professional world, they escalate it to marketing. And then marketing's like, yo, dev team, you guys better do what they're telling you. All right? So don't, like Pixel said, miss me with the weak sauce. All right? Sweet Baby is not, nor is any consulting group coming to wreck games. We're still hurting from Sushi Squad, so this is incorrect. They came in, they wrecked the game. They're helping smooth out plots and deepen characters, like Miles Morales. Okay, they ease the burden on the core narrative team. They're additive in every way, and I want to speak on this word additive. I was playing Remnant 2 before I left Maputo. I was playing Remnant 2 on my Xbox, and I picked my gender at the beginning of the game. But for the entirety of the game, I'm being referred to as they. I am not they.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. You're a male, right?
I'm not plural. I am one person. Okay? And I didn't get a choice to pick whether I was he, she, they, it, zer, whatever. I didn't get a choice. I'm automatically they. So again, they're not additive. All right? They're not additive. They actively remove. And if the dev team disagrees with them on something, the dev team doesn't take the note. It really is that simple. Again, Barry, I have to reference the beautiful, brilliant Kim Belair, who said to everyone, this video has been played ad nauseum on YouTube. Like, we're tired of seeing it. She said, go and threaten the marketing team. And everyone knows the power that the marketing team has. Why? Because the marketing team has the projections for profit. And who does the marketing team answer to? They answer to the board, because they're here to guarantee profit. Everyone in the corporation exists to guarantee profit. Marketing makes the projections. Marketing goes to the board and says, because the dev team is not wokifying this game, right? Wokifying. This game is going to fail. So the board or the CEO goes to the dev team and is like, motherfuckers, get your asses in gear, right? Spider-Man better be black by the end of this game. Okay, so again, this entire statement is bullshit. Because I believe Kim Belair. I'm just saying, how can you not believe it? Look at that hair. Next, we had, so no, Sweet Baby did not kill your game. Yes, it did. Of course, they had nothing to do with the layoffs. Okay, see, that's a good point. Sweet Baby had nothing to do with the layoffs. They're not firing anyone. The AAA is failing by
Sony
itself.
problem.
No, it's not a Sony. Are you serious, Mr. Xbox? Do you want me to look up the article so I can give you the exact number of people that got fired from Xbox?
Not 1900. 9%, right?
The point is, AAA is
They're
failing.
both 8%. Right? Either way, people got laid off.
Let it die. Okay, that's the one thing that I agree with Mary Kinney. Sweet Baby is not to blame for the fail of AAA. They gave notes, pitches, advice, research, and threats. Keep up, Mary. The studio made the final call on what went in the game. If you have beef, it's with us. Keep it with us. No. I'm so lucky to have worked with. Oh, okay. All right. Brown knows the way. So,
I mean, yeah.
That was the tweet. Anyone have anything to say on this? So we can go back to the article. I'd like to finish the article today. Please.
That's her strong opinion, I guess.
Mental. You're muted.
She's entitled to her opinion. It might be a stupid opinion, but it's an opinion at the end of the day. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own thinking and their own thoughts and their own ideas and their own agendas. But at the end of the day, we may not agree with her opinion, but at the end of the day, it's her opinion. So whatever she wants to she wants to be like that, that's her.
Rachie says, I can already see Log 7 singing The Sun Caught Her, Raven Hair blazing me out of control.
Rachie, you're messy, man.
I'm screenshotting that, and I'm using this as an excuse to write Kim Belair's name on Twitter. Pixel, am I capping when I say that she is a very beautiful woman?
Have I seen her? I don't think I've seen her. Let me see.
I think he's talking about the CEO.
Thank you, dude. You just gave me an excuse. Hold on. Let me show you Kim Belair.
I mean, if you're talking about the CEO, she looks good, but she's batshit crazy.
Boring. Dude, I need you to be objective, my brother. I need you to be objective. All right, we're talking about her looks right now. All right, focus.
Yeah, go ahead and bring up the picture again. Go ahead. Let Pixel get a good look at her.
I'm pretty sure you can be canceled for this too, right?
For what?
Maybe.
For admiring her.
Yeah. Judging.
Are you serious?
This is where we at with it, right?
Man.
Oh man.
I think the word is objectifying, maybe.
Hey, Pixel Bit. You know what? This is always normal for Loke, especially when he's on Ham with Ham. There's always a chance he's gonna get canceled.
Yeah, I've seen.
He's not shy.
All right. Just appreciate Pixel. Watch this, man. Listen to her voice.
Put this stuff up to your higher ups.
Listen to her voice.
Okay, I've seen her. I've seen her before. Okay.
Listen.
You're creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years. Put this stuff up to your higher ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Wow.
Right. So
dude, even when she's threatening, come on, tell me. She
looks alright. She cute. She ain't gorgeous, but she cute. Yeah, kind of long. She got a long head.
She's a 7 out of 10, but she's not.
Yeah, she's closer to a 6. But if she feels good about it, it's what it is.
6?
Yeah,
you heathens.
You know how hard it is to be above average. Like, come on, man.
It's pretty hard.
See, I don't believe in blowing up people's egos and telling them, "Oh my God, you're so large."
John TJ,
but
what's
that
your
said,
score?
She's a good-looking woman, and
what's
she's
her
batshit
score?
crazy.
John TJ, what's your score for Kimbele?
I would say 7.
Don't bring the sweet baby shit. Be honest.
No, I'm dead serious. If I didn't know anything about her background and I just met her on the street and wanted to have a cup of coffee with her, sit down, have coffee, I would say she's a 7. She's good looking.
All right. We have one objective person here. Mental. What if you had to score? What would you give Kimbele?
I know I'm not Canadian, but I'm taking the 5th.
You're taking the 5th.
Pixel, what's your score?
I mean, she got nice hair.
She got nice hair.
I know she
got a long head. She's not my style. 6.5.
Yes,
I mean,
Mental is a coward.
I like a little.
Mental is a coward.
A little more meat on the bone. A little darker. I mean, she's cute.
Holy shit, Pixel.
But,
what's the score?
She's got nice hair.
Score, bro?
Listen, 6.5. There you go.
God damn.
Okay, that's not bad, man. Hey,
that sounds about right.
You know what?
Damn. Okay, so
you know what? That's not that bad, man. Because it could have been worse. We could have said 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, she's
0.
definitely not. She's not a below average looking person.
I know. I'm just making a point. Just saying, like, look, we find her. She's attractive. Yeah.
I'm not being mean here. Just a note, right? In the reality of the world, 5 is relative attractiveness. It's like,
girl got me thirsty. Okay. I'm just saying, like, I need to turn up the AC. That's
Jesus,
what I'm saying.
Bro.
Man, you don't got a lot of hot women over where you live? Man, that's sad. Then. That's not good.
Settle down.
He lives in the desert.
He lives in the desert. Oh my God.
Either that or he's just blind, but we'll work that out later. I'm just saying.
Richie, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. It says Luke 7 should watch the Hellfire song. What is the Hellfire song?
What, from Hellblade or what?
I don't know. I'm Googling it now.
Watch you get canceled by looking it up.
Hunchback of
Don't share whatever you're looking up right now, bro.
No, I'm not doing it. Hunchback of
you see, Pixel watches his ass all the time, so he makes sure that he doesn't get canceled because he knows not to show what you're looking up when you don't know what it is.
Okay, good enough. Smart man.
Yeah.
Vince says she's got nice hair. Yo, people get on a list for that. But as we've established, Vince, Black people are exempt from being put on lists.
Oh, remember? I mean, I'm allowed. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna be on the list because I'm bald and I don't have any hair, so I'm not allowed to say anything about people's hair. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
I've never been to Disney yet.
Include me too.
Oh
yeah, wow. You too, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the article, guys.
I mean, Luke's right behind us here, but
oh my God,
but he's holding on though with a thin ass thread.
I'm almost there.
Hey,
okay,
who mentioned that in that super chat?
Mentioned what? That was Rachel.
The Hellfire thing.
That was Rachel.
You're messed up, man.
He's foul. He is foul. I haven't opened it yet. I'll watch it after.
Oh anyway, my God. Okay, I'll just tell you the title. It's from a cartoon movie. It's nothing bad.
No, I have it up. Don't worry. I got it.
Anyway, my God.
If you're mad about DEI games, you need to grow up. Likewise, I said today, Bungie, senior narrative designer, who only identified themselves as @thickest_Yosh on Twitter. You need to stop wasting so much time on grifters who are only there to manipulate you and milk your anger for engagement. You need to talk to people who aren't like you a bit more. You need to stop falling for this. Thoughts?
Wow.
No one has any thoughts on
again, it's not DEI ruining games. It's bad writing.
Simple.
Right? I think that's the crux of it all. It's not.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus, right? Like most people don't care as long as the writing is good. They just don't care. Exactly. When it's all ham-fisted.
Want
like,
good games. Yeah, just want good games, right? Like that's all we want. And lately, games have been on a downturn. I think, personally.
Yeah,
it's personal opinion.
So, authoring a piece for the founded by former Kotaku staff video game news outlet Aftermath, Nathan Grayson, who many may remember as having been one of the several journalists who gave Zoe Quinn's Depression Quest positive coverage. Oh, nah, I ain't trying to listen to you. If you're capping for Zoe Quinn, I'm good. Like, I'm skipping all the way over Nathan Grayson. Oh, we've reached the end of the article.
You can't be objective,
Not
man. What's
possible.
Going
on? Dude. Okay, fine. You know what?
Wow, a new record.
I've never heard of them, but yeah.
All right, let's do this. Here's the specific quote. Very few people who believe the Sweet Baby conspiracy, perhaps zero, will read the above facts and come away with their minds changed. Because conspiracies are designed to metamorphose endlessly, said Grayson. This one in particular already has on several occasions, and it will likely continue to do so until it's likely propagators get bored. But we're talking about many of the same names that stewarded Gamergate forward back in the day, specifically the ones who failed to use it as a stepping stone to bigger stages and have been hunting feverishly for something like this ever since, and they seem to be having a great time playing the hits, Gamers versus Media, Gamers Fight Back, etc. Do you guys have anything to say to this? Mental, you're muted.
I haven't said anything. I'm just letting the other guys have the stage for a sec. I don't know.
Suddenly, they're very shy.
Well, I'm not. I wasn't following the Gamergate stuff.
Yeah,
I only
me
kind of
neither.
heard of
Back
it at one time from one side. It seemed like right wing guys lost their mind over some shit. I just didn't know, so I didn't really follow it at that time. It just sounded stupid to me, so I just kind of moved on with it. So I'm not aware of the actors related to this, but this person is making a pretty broad statement, right? Assuming that everyone's either a grifter from that era or quick to understand to think a conspiracy is this is a conspiracy when the data says that it partially isn't. So I don't know. And then I guess the biggest problem with this stuff is when you have the CEO of the company saying crazy stuff and kind of exposing.
She's just being honest.
I mean, listen, honestly, crazy is still crazy, right? But you're setting. She's kind of setting the agenda, right? So you say something provocative, let's say, right, and then your company is getting called out for being involved with games that have these messaging in it, and then you're saying, "Oh no, you guys, you're not seeing what we think you're seeing." So,
you're just racist.
It's just gaslighting. Just you're not seeing what you're seeing, right? See, here's the thing, right? If there's no data to show me that what I think is true, then fine, right? Maybe I'm crazy. But if I can get enough information with all those parts and it looks like, hey, this is what you guys do, then you can't just say that people are crazy. Even though he may be right? There may be Gamergate guys involved in pushing this to the forefront. But again, the whole problem starts with, if you guys never said anything, nobody would be talking about this. The guy, it was a site, it was an aggregate. So what? You move on. And they didn't allow it to get to a point where somebody else was harassing them. They started the harassment. They were the ones on the attack. So all of this stemmed from you, right? It's just,
what's ironic?
All a reaction to your reaction. You could have just left it go. The site may have just came and went, and it just would have had 1,200 people involved.
That's it.
And now
it would have died at like 15,000.
Tens of thousands. Yeah, it would have. Now it's now it's a big thing that nobody heard of prior to. So I think at some point, someone on that side needs to take responsibility. Like, oh, hey, maybe had we not done this.
No, right? Never. So, no.
Yeah, we got a situation where certain folks don't want to take any kind of heat for their reaction to things. So,
and to Nate's point, even Gamergate 1, guys, it started the same way. Because the whole thing started because Kotaku, exactly like he said, he got mad because factual evidence came out that showed that one of their writers slept with Zoe Quinn, and then her games got favorable reviews and whatever. And then what happened was, when the whole thing came out, it was the same thing with Cabrutas. Very low number of people, like 5% of the gaming community was aware of what had happened with Zoe Quinn, Kotaku, the dude that offed himself or whatever. Very few people were aware. And then Kotaku wrote this gigantic hit piece saying all gamers are racists, sexist, misogynists, harassers, and whatever. And then a bunch of people that were just busy playing video games were like, wait, I came to this site to see reviews on video games. What's this article about? They clicked on it, and the whole thing exploded. Same thing with Cabrutas. If they just kept quiet, but the whole thing was Zoe Quinn and this Kotaku dude or whatever, Gamergate would not have happened. They would have known about it within their little clicks, and we would have all kept it pushing. We would still think that most of gaming journalism is made out of people who are objective and who aren't having like a little cabal or whatever. We would all believe that today. But they couldn't leave it alone. Someone said it's necessary. Put it as a headline. And then it all went to shit. It's very ironic that both Gamergates started because of the Streisand effect. Both of them. Exactly. Yeah. I'm glad someone else remembers it because Kotaku. Yeah, dude, I followed Gamergate. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching all the videos like, yo, this is wild. This is crazy. Who thought it was supposed to be talking about video games? And there's people talking about orgies, there's suicides, there's a woman involved there that apparently slept with over 100 people within like a 12-month period. It was like crazy at the time. Like I don't think I've seen fiction that was as wild as that. It was wild. But here we are, once again, doing it all over again.
It's bizarre that the sister of the guy that committed suicide helped finance and launch a couple of these companies too. It's a weird rabbit hole, isn't it?
This is deep. And I thought we were going to get through it, all of it today. Mistakenly. It's been 3 hours and 40 minutes.
No, it's a 7-parter, bro. It's going to take 7 episodes at this rate.
It's going to take 7 episodes if nothing else happens with Sweet Baby. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Guys, for the love of God, may nothing else happen so we can finish this and move on to something else. All right.
Or at least you're building up your library on your when people go look at your guys' channel.
Oh my goodness. This is and again, it's not
Sweet
about
Baby
content.
Inc. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4.
And again, it's not even about content. That's why if you notice, like, I don't think I've told anyone to smash the like button or share this out or whatever.
I've been saying in the comments, I've been telling everybody to hit the like button, please subscribe.
I've seen it. My main focus, honestly, it's still the same I had like when me and Ham started this channel. My main focus was reaching out to gamers like Mental, Pixel, Drawn TJ, K Asante, etc., and having candid conversations. Like,
hey, you forgot Mental. You forgot Mental in there.
I didn't.
No, he did say Mental. Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
He got me there. Yeah.
I thought he glossed over you. I was gonna be like, "Geez."
Yeah. So the point is that I want to get to the bottom of whatever it is that's going on at not only Sweet Baby, but this whole cultural shift with anti-woke and woke itself or whatever. We've already established that they've taken the word, we've made peace with it. The word has now evolved to the red pill. All right, it's the red pill.
Yeah.
So we've reached another end of the gaming log. We have failed again to
well, we'll be back here next Sunday to finish the saga.
Cozy will be happy. She'll be able to contribute.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she was very eager. Like when we were talking about,
I want to hear her takes because she's very unique when it comes to takes.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't shout too much for the earphones. Anyways,
yeah.
End of the show. Drawn TJ, please plug your stuff. Tell everyone where they can find you, etc., etc.
Thank you, Loke. I appreciate it. It's awesome being on the same panel with you guys. It was fun. We're bullshitting, but at the same time, we're being serious. We're talking about something that's very important. That you can't take one thing and run away with it by reading the title and the topic. If you do that, then I'm sorry, but you should go back to school then. But at the end of the day, it was nice being on the same podcast with Mental, Loke, and also Pixelbit G. I'm really glad that you got in, Pixel, because I did want to hear what you had to say, because I've seen you on other podcasts. So, yes. And if you want to find me at DrawnTJ450 on Twitter/X. And my Xbox gamer tag is DrawnTJ all caps. And everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe before you hit the door on the way out. It's the least you can do. It's free. So everyone have a nice day.
All right. Thank you. Mental. Tell everyone where they can find you, what you're up to, etc.
Yeah. Mental9R on Twitter, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam. Pretty much everywhere except YouTube, where my channel is Caffeine Entertainment, as shown above. It's all one word. And it was nice to share the floor with Pixelbit G. Great to get to be on the same show with you. Appreciate your insights. Had a lot of fun today on a bit of a crazy topic. Who knew?
Pixelbit G, my man.
Damn, I must be really your man, because I had no idea what this topic was about.
Plug.
So I came into a chain store. But okay, what's up?
Plug your stuff. Tell people where they can find you. And I'll see you next Sunday as well.
Yeah, we'll see. So you can find me on Twitter under or X, Pixelated G. I do have a channel that's only had like 2 or 3 videos up, but time, the reality of life take us away from doing the things we want to do. So such is life. I'm hoping after maybe another 2 or 3 months I can get back to making content, but we'll see. Sometimes on Web Dave show, sometimes I'm hanging out with Kay Asante and Everborn on their show. And, you know, so every now and again, Loke will ask me last minute to join this show, which is habitual with him now. But as always, I appreciate it because we have great conversations. So, pleasure working with you here, Drawn TJ and Mental. This is the first time I've actually run into Mental anywhere, actually. So that's, you know, made for an interesting conversation. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week. And I need to do some XCOM research so I can, you know, help Loke get over the hump.
Yeah, dude, I do.
You're gonna have to carry Loke.
Yeah, dude. If there was a way to play XCOM online, I would just like start a party, invite
tagging people in,
and then I would sit at the back and just watch you like play the game.
Maneuver the
and then
field,
I would
bro.
get like the achievement. It would suck. It would suck. Anyways, Kesante, The Dude, Raichi, Vincent Vega, and Nate. Thank you guys for coming through. Really appreciate you guys popping off in chat. Vic, the motherfucking click. Who else came in here? Did I say Raichi already?
Come on, Loke. I don't think you have dementia yet, bro. Come on, you're young.
All right, cool.
You already said Raichi.
All right, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for coming through. We appreciate you, and we will try again. I promise. We will try again next Sunday to finish the Sweet Baby Saga. But until then, Mondays on TSWS Gaming, we have the crossover with Ham Solo and K Mega discussing video games. Tuesday, it's me and Ham Solo on the lowdown. Wednesdays, Ham jumps over to Matt Likes Games channel on YouTube. So that's Matt Likes Games with a double T for the Two Player Podcast. This week, I am going to be guesting on the Two Player Podcast because Ham is at PAX East. Thursday, we usually have Behind Them Sticks, where Ham Solo interviews various personalities in and around video games. But again, because it's at PAX East, there's not going to be any Behind Them Sticks just for this week. Friday, it's bullshitting once more. And Kay Asante, since you're here, and Pixel, since you're also here, let's make it special. Let's make it Chocolate Friday. Kay Asante, Pixel, I'm officially extending the invite for bullshitting this Friday with you guys headlining.
That's gonna be a good podcast.
That'd be fun.
I think your show is like 4 p.m. EST or something like that, right? For bullshit.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I may have a important meeting at that time, but I'll let you know.
Man.
Yeah, I gotta check. I gotta check because we got some sales to get sailed. So yeah. Let me see.
Right, get it together and then tell me like by Wednesday. Kesante, same thing. Please confirm or tell me by Wednesday. Otherwise, I'll just be bombing your DMs. I'm Loke7, and I'm very grateful for the time you've spent with us on the Gaming Log. I look forward to spending even more time with you all next week. Thank you for listening.